a nice church girl, and they turn out just yesterday. Someone called me, and I see a lot of stuff. You know, it seems as if you watch me, you would think watching me, I mind people's business. Chef, you've been talking to me now for about 2 years. You talk to me all the time. How much personal stuff do I ask you?
We don't go there. You don't ask any.
Right. And if you get Quentin on the phone and on here, he'll and we've been talking. How much person? Everyone's going to say he doesn't ask us. I really do everything I can to stay out of people's personal business because I can't even handle my own. Right. So what does it look like for me to get into yours? The main thing people need is either money or so there's things I can pray for them unless it's something that a person insists on talking to me about. I stay out of it unless it's force, like someone's getting beaten or something like that. It becomes a point where you have to, as a friend, say something. Otherwise, I mind my business. Unless and sometimes even when people try to tell me, I do everything I can to stay out of it because especially men and women, I'm gonna just say this: men are more loyal to women than women are to men. That's what I found to be true. I have found that men are less likely to put their women's business out. For example, if a woman has a bisexual husband, she'll tell the whole world, tell the kids, tell the pastor, and feel justified. I've found when men had bisexual or gay wives, they've tended to be stoic, think about the children, think about the reputation, and keep quiet about it, not say anything, because that would hurt the children. I found the women are far less these days loyal to the family unit and, in fact, don't mind destroying the family unit based on their emotions. If they feel so inclined as to be angry because of what they've been encouraged by this feminist movement, they destroy everybody and it means nothing to them. They do not mind hurting their children. They don't mind hurting anybody as long as they get whatever it is that they're after. The modern contemporary woman doesn't care anything. A lot of them don't care anything about the children. There's nothing. It's only what they want. There's a malignant narcissism in the land. It is so extreme. It does not. It doesn't think about anything but self. They don't even care about the kids. If you think about the video the other day of a woman on live video killing her child saying, I'll be free of this, pardon my language, I'll be free of this fucker when it's dead. And and they didn't even feel like it's bad for the evidence to be made. It's, I'm just saying, wow, that's something, right? I'm not trying to be, men do gruesome, horrible things to children. They do horrible things that they do. And I'll tell you and you'll hear about it. They tend to gloss over what women do, right? And it's a problem. And so the men are quiet when the women are bisexual. Sure they are. They don't say anything. They don't, not typically. I've seen a lot of men, in fact, the majority of lesbians are married housewives, which means a lot of men who hear how bad they are and how they never do anything right. That's not true. What it really is that they're married to a lesbian who's looking for a reason to break off the relationship with the man and still get his money, which means she came into the marriage deceitfully. And she plays the system as a woman, as a protected class. She, through marriage fraud and everything else, gets that man's money. She's the hero. She's the good guy. And he's a bastard. and he may have to start his life all over again. I can't tell you how many friends of mine have had to live in their cars or lost everything or almost lost everything behind a wife. And even if she was unfaithful, caught, if none of that counted in his favor the minute he got to court. I'm going to say this, and I don't care who I offend. Black women need to understand that a day of reckoning is here. That day of reckoning is that men are not going to be silent anymore about this inequity. So, for example, one of my buddies I grew up with, his wife, she didn't clean. She was overweight. She didn't really take good care of the kids. She didn't cook. She didn't clean. And she didn't fuck. I'm going to say that too. And always complained about there not being enough money, which means that this man, who I know well, was working 90 hours a week. And by the way, she didn't pay bills, which meant he never could bring in enough money to keep up, as she did what she wanted to do with her money, and always said the money that he was putting in to pay for everything wasn't enough. And he just so happened to come back home and catch her in bed with another man in their bed. And guess what she did? She caught an attitude with him. She caught the attitude and tried to attack him. Let me say something to all the women out there.
That happened to me. It
You,
happened to me.
you,
She tried to fight me.
you American women, you American women, I'm not talking about the bad ones, I mean the good ones. You American women, this feminism thing has messed you up so badly. And yet, you same women that support these open borders and all this stuff, the intersectionality and sensitivity, you know, the very kind of stuff that you've been protected from, which is reality. Y'all brought in 7 to 10. There are maybe 20 million illegal people in this country who come from very, very, very strict patriarchal cultures. And that percentage is growing. Do you know, ladies and sirs, in Brazil, if a man catches a woman with another man, if he kills her, he will be pardoned. He will be pardoned. It's not, I don't think that's good. But I know that my friend who got assaulted by his wife, who he caught in a bed of adultery, then hit her back and beat up the man, he got in trouble.
Oh no.
Now, I want to say this to the American women who are spoiled as hell. If you mess with these foreign men who come up from a different culture, black women, you will be killed in numbers like you ain't never seen. And their families will unite against you, and they will prevail against you in court. And if you go into court as a black woman against a protected class, these Latinos, due to the Organization of American States, to the United Nations, they're protected under international law. So the United States has to treat them better than they have to treat us because they've got backing where they came from. Which means if they kill you and they've got friends where they came from, and they do, they'll lobby our government to get them off for killing you. Like what happened with Mr. Lang that shot Akai Gurley in New York, in Brooklyn. The whole Asian community worldwide came together to help that Chinese man get off for murdering an innocent black man. you'll start to deal with international patriarchal power. And you don't have patriarchal power because you've got pussy power. It's only good used against the black American man and to kill his baby and to destroy his family. You have no power. Black American women are powerless without being in relationship with black American men. You have no status. Go to Africa and mouth off at an African man. And I want to assure you, they will beat your ass in public openly. And they'll be, no one will do it. It will absolutely be seen as okay. I don't support that. But I want people to understand America it's so unique, and in particular, the unique system of oppression against black American men has given black American women a basket full of perks and unfair privileges that are unreal. And at the same time, it's made a lot of them feel like they don't need black American men anymore. And 1/3 of black American women are marrying white men, and they begin to marry Latins and Arabs. And I'm going to tell you something, when you get around these other people, they may even screw you, but they do not respect you. Mess around with some Indians, mess around with some Turks, mess around with some Lebanese, some Iraqis. Find out, or as they say, fuck around and find out how little power, how little respect women carry through almost the entire world. And when you think of the black American man as the lowest of the low and the this, that, and the other, the black American man is the most diplomatic, understanding, long suffering, patient man on the planet, short of the criminal asshole kind that you prefer. The black men that you call weak, every other group of women in the world want him. Only you don't see that. So let me say this to you, cheat on a Latino man. I dare you. Raise your hand on an Asian man, a white man, an African man, a Caribbean man. And by the way, a Kevin Samuels man. The Kevin Samuels man, by the way, he won't hit you. He'll pick up his passport and he's on the next flight out. And in fact, I want to say this to you. If you don't understand how that difficult behavior plays out, you only need to look at your English speaking sisters in England. 90% of black men do not marry black women in the United Kingdom. That's 9 out of 10 black men. And it may be, and that's a dated figure. It may be 95% of black men don't even bother to marry black women. You guys are playing with fire, and it's Judgment Day.
Hey, brother, sure. Hold on 1 second, sir, before you get too deep into that cook. One, we got to do this real quick. Shout out to Sister Star for hitting the Cash App today. I appreciate that, sis. Definitely, we need 3 more sponsors. We need 3 sponsors for today.
I want to sponsor. Where are my sponsors at?
That's right.
People have been stingy.
I'm a sponsor. You got me. I'm a sponsor.
Hold on 1 second. My brother Dr. Short here. You see it. This is the Angry Black Man's Book Club. His Cash App, $ DrRandyShort. All right. He's got the Patreon as well. DrRandyShort@gmail. Definitely hit that brother up as well. We appreciate the contributions, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? We need to Kevin Samuels. I'm going to Kevin Samuels anoint myself. I'm going to.
That's why I can't let you go too far.
I'm going to put. There we go. Wait a second.
Right,
I'm going to put a K on my forehead with frankincense. You know, anoint my head with oil. Oh my God, we love this brother. We love you, Kevin. Oh, yes, we do. We love you,
Well, we gotta get him
Kevin.
5 seconds.
Oh,
We
yes,
gotta
we
give him his
do.
5 seconds.
You
So,
expose the feminists. They're blue. Kevin, we love you. We're patriarchs. So, yes, we're going to make, let me show you how to make a Kevin cross, y'all. You do like this. You come down and you do that. Okay, do it. Okay, da, da, da.
they say
Yes,
you, they
indeed.
say you
Yes,
doing the
indeed.
YMCA, the
No, no,
YMCA.
we're doing that. So you come down, you make a line. That's the first, and then that's the top, and that's the bottom. So like this, da, da. So we put our big K, and let's do a moment of silence for our
Yeah,
great
5 seconds.
leader.
Gotta have it.
Okay, I got to pour a libation. Oh, yes. We love you, Kevin. Oh my God.
Libation. Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
So that this is a
Shout out to
Frank.
Kevin Samuels, but we
Yes.
got it's a lot more men out here like Kevin Samuels because you got to understand that's what I grew up under. I grew up under the swiftness of the Mac hand, if you
Mm,
understand me.
mm,
I grew up under the correction, you know what I mean? I grew
mm.
up under to where a man, I mean, it's so much we can go. We can go deep. If you think Kevin Samuel was something like the Joker once said, wait till you get along with me.
But
You understand me? I'm
hold
just
on,
being political.
Twist. This is the moment of silence. This is a moment of silence. 5 seconds. We gotta do right by the honorable Messiah.
Where the bell at? Play the death bell.
All right.
And you know what, Kevin? We have to
This
say
is
that
ready to
Kevin
go.
is like amen. So at the end you say Kevin like amen, and he lives. Kevin Samuels lives.
Hey Doc, you know when I when I first got on Kevin,
Mm,
that was when he had checked this female.
mm.
And what I liked about him is how he did it. He told her correct, and he was like, at the end, he was like, "Shut the fuck up and get the fuck off my motherfucking phone." He told her just like that, and that's why I loved him because, as I said before, if you can't tell a person straight, they're not gonna respect you being trying to curvy and being soft. And
Yeah,
when
but
he did that,
mhm,
that went everywhere. That went
mhm.
viral, and a lot of people got mad at him talking about, "Oh, he shouldn't have did it. He shouldn't have did it." But no, he did it right. He told her how she was supposed to be told. He ain't gonna
But you know,
lie
it
to her.
isn't that they
He ain't gonna
meant
sugarcoat it.
he. It's not that they meant he shouldn't have done it. That we're not saying what we mean, and we need to just get through this. And I'm going to just say it very quickly. In the American system, where you had chattel slavery and other things, black men, first and foremost, endured. I'm gonna just say it. We had basically an incredible demographic pussy shortage from the 1500s until literally 1900. We had 400 years of unequal sex ratios between black men and women. Okay, that's a long time for you not to be able to get yours or have to hustle harder. And it's done a couple of things. Not only was there not an equal number, black men outnumbered black women, white men and other men were tapping into black women. So black
Your
American men
mic
have
about to
had to
short.
work.
Your mic.
What? I'm
Your
doing
mic is low.
everything I can. Everything.
Go
Are you
ahead.
hearing me?
Yeah, slightly, brother. Slightly.
I haven't done one thing different.
There you go. You're back. Go ahead.
Well, you know they're playing with the bandwidth. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't have this problem until we started getting thousands of viewers. Then all of a sudden the stuff doesn't work. I need to take a picture. I'm going to take it and send it to you, Chef. I can't access YouTube via my computer. I'm suspended from YouTube on my regular computer through my IP.
Wow. Can you
Okay.
go through your phone? Can you go through your
Yes.
phone?
Well, that's what I'm doing. I've been very. They don't want me on. Now back to my point. Black men dealt with a pussy shortage. I'm gonna call it what it was, and unfair competition. If the master could screw everybody, he could screw you too. He could buck break you, get your mama, your sister, your woman. Uh, Black men have always had for a long time had a tenuous access to women. and threatened by everybody. You could just sell off your woman. Look, on October 16th, 1846, one of my great grandmothers, my fourth great grandmother, Maria Gassaway, got sold by white folk down to New Orleans with my great uncle and possibly my grandmother inside of my great grandmother. My great grandfather, Nicholas Gassaway, had to go from Baltimore all the way to Oakland and San Francisco and get gold rush money and bail his family out to get my grandmother and get his children out. I wouldn't be here today were it not that kind of manhood and love that Nicholas Gassaway had for Maria Gassaway. But imagine that this dude is that much of a baller, but because of his status, and he's a man that could pass for white, that wasn't enough to give him stability to hold on to his woman. Okay, other people didn't have the kind of attacks on their manhood or their ability to even be with someone. If you saw the movie The Butler, and basically the family had to move because the white man wants the black man's woman, and he can't even hold on to his woman picking cotton for the white dude who's got him as a slave needs to screw his woman too. They have to leave. They're from Macon, Georgia, and my family's from Macon, Georgia, and that happened. My grandmother and all of them got moved at nighttime so they wouldn't get raped. My grandmother got moved to Washington, D.C. in 1927 at 16 to keep her from getting raped down in Georgia by white men. I mean, down south, the white men used to get, that's where you get this term redhead stepchild. A whole lot of black men had to raise the raped bastard offspring of white men to be with the black woman they wanted. And so black American men are paranoid about holding on to their woman. Black women have had a hell of a lot more freedom and latitude to pick. I mean, that is very different from every other group of women in the world. That's how this system of racial oppression here has gave this. In fact, if you think about it, to show you how black men have been systematically devalued and black women have a kind of inflation, is if you look in the South, why my grandmother was sold to New Orleans is that she could pass for white. She's like a quadroon. Are you hearing me? So she could draw, quadroons could sell up to $40,000-$50,000. That's in 1830 money. That is a fortune for sex. That was a big thing for white men, to have as many black women held down as they wanted. And then some white dude bought my grandmother for a freak, and the black man who's married had to fight to hold on to what he can't even hold what's his. We've had no backup in who we are as men, right? So we operate, Brother Twister, out of a pussy deficit or pussy shortage mindset. So we're always trying to hope. We don't say, it's so easy to lose everything, and it's more real to us than it is to them because, too many fish to see. Seem like there are a million options until this man shortage, which isn't real. There's no man shortage. There's a good wifely pool shortage. There's no good man shortage. There are a lot of folk that don't want to be good wives, who think that they should get a sugar daddy that doesn't expect anything in return for some part-time sex. That's the problem in the community. So black men who feel like they're at a disadvantage and behind the eight ball tend to not want to do anything to rock the sexual boat because they have to work a lot harder. If you've traveled anywhere in the world, and I have been in all the different continents, if you're a man and a woman halfway likes you, they let you know you don't have to go to Red Lobster, the Olive Garden, Longhorn. You have to pay bills and all of that just to have a conversation. In fact, in other places, if they like you, they invite you over to meet the family. They provide the food. All you have to do is come and do the look over. And this culture here, which is actually based on prostitution, which is what
Come on with that.
the vast majority of our women don't recognize, that how they've modeled themselves is as whores. They come into the mating economy as whores and prostitutes, but want wife treatment. Okay, you dress like a whore, you act like a whore, you look like a whore, have lashes like a whore, have tats like a whore, and you want to be treated like a virgin who's going to be married and be a good wife, and that's going to wear apron and have babies and be faithful. And that's a damn lie. Most don't want to do this. And the black men who peep game figure, okay, since I've got to buy sex and I've got to do all this primping and so forth to be able to at least get some sexual contact, which is to be expected. Having a penis is a very annoying thing if you don't have a place to put it. It really is. I'm just saying. And I'm a celibate person, and I even need some. I need some, and I haven't had it. I can't imagine how the dude who's used to having sex copes with the woman who doesn't screw. I know you don't know how many friends of mine have been married to women that fuck as often as you get an IRS summons, like once or twice a year. And a lot of them say they love Jesus, which is a damn lie, because it says, wives, obey your husband. That means if he asks you for some pussy, you should give it to him with a smile. And maybe with some fresh baked goods at home, like cookies and stuff. Do something, and don't use a box. The only thing that should come out of a box is condoms. All right? I'm just so black men who are afraid of this pussy shortage, they walk on eggshells because black women had black men on a lock. They could always get a white man. They could always get any other kind of man. And even if it was illegal, they did what they wanted. And they also could compete with other black men that are willing to compete, because a lot of black men, pardon my language, black men are brotherfuckers. They're backstabbers. You have motherfuckers and you have brotherfuckers. Brotherfucker is a man that will screw your woman, screw your mama, screw your sister, screw your kids, all that, and think it's cool because as long as I'm sticking it in the front hole, although some will do the back, they're cool. And so we've got this predatory pimp culture where these guys are the masters of playing on the psychological frailties of women to get in their drawers and leave someone else holding the DNA bastard bag. So a lot of black men who see all of this, they just want peace. They want some food and they want some pussy. They don't want any problems. They just want some pussy and some food. Like hands up, don't shoot. Okay. that they just want food and pussy. And that's hard to get. And every other culture, food and pussy is to be expected. It's only in our culture where food and pussy is seen as some kind of luxury, some kind of specialty thing, like taking a trip to the top of the Mount Everest. Hell, if you don't have something stuck up there, the only thing that's going to grow is cobwebs. God gave you a vagina for somebody to go into, or at least nibble around the edges. So what it is, sit up and complain about, like, and this is the thing I don't like. And all the women's magazines talk about how people don't get your phone number, how people don't call, how men don't do this. What about what you don't do? If I told you my friend whose wife didn't screw him for 3 years, there are women out here that don't have sex with their husbands for years at a time and think it's cool. And if the man goes anywhere, does anything, is quick to divorce him, there should be some way to penalize wives who don't screw. We need a movement in here where a man can come out of a marriage with no penalty or indemnity for a woman that doesn't throw up her feet at least twice a month. In fact, brothers need to keep a diary. And if you can prove your woman isn't screwing, you should be able to end that marriage and she doesn't get anything. Instead of her getting divorced like she's been cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids. And that's bullshit. She won't even take her own depends off, leave them until the thing fill up and fall off at work. We've got to stop this. But so these black men are lying to us. They're afraid if I speak up, I won't get any more pussy. Please don't ruin this for the rest of us. Just, damn it. Why do you have an opinion, man? I just want some pussy, right? And I ain't gay, right? I've seen black men who act so weak, and they've been taught if you have a penis, you're a nobody unless you got someone to sleep with. You know, it's just the opposite in the rest of the world. If you're a woman without a man, you're nothing. Everywhere but the Western world. In the black world, a man is nothing without a woman. And they constantly tell the woman, man is nothing. So men are valueless in our culture. We men have to change that mix. Kevin Samuels brought in the gospel of the high value man, which was like, it was like haram for Muslims. It was like blasphemy. How dare this man say black men had value? How dare you say I have to be in shape? How dare you say someone doesn't need to have 6 figures to marry me to raise a whole bunch of dudes, bastards that I don't even want? How dare you? But Kevin did it, and he broke through the veil of pork chop feminism that had been strangling the souls of black men since the covenant between black men and black women was broken by the black leftist feminists, lesbians, many of them from the Caribbean, that came out in the 60s who had a plan to destroy the black community, the black family, and to destroy patriarchy. So black men are liars. Black men don't tell the truth. You know what? Black women are honest. Fat black men, unless they have money, they're not going to get sex or love. They know this, which is why there are far fewer overweight black men than there are overweight black women. Because black women tell you the truth. You too fat. Your ass is too big. You're this, you're that. You don't go to the gym. There are women who are in power chairs that are double amputees that want men to have beer can stomachs. And this woman can't even find a pussy when she pees because she's so fat. And you know what? It's called body shaming when you tell a woman that she's fat. When you tell a man that he's fat, you're health conscious. And I do think you're health conscious when you tell a man he's too fat. But you're also health conscious when you tell a woman that you're a slob. And there are a whole bunch of these women out here, they're talking about fertility problems for black women. You know what that big fertility problem is? You eat too damn much. You have ovarian cyst problems when you're fat. You're fat. You eat too much. You eat too much. That's why you have ovarian cyst problems. You eat too damn much. You need to lose weight to be healthy. You got all these folks who are, got diabetes and everything else. I mean, really bad diabetes. I mean, how many pound cakes do you need to eat? Why do you want to go to every all-you-can-eat place? And, I mean, you're at, what's that place called? Golden Corral? I mean, and folks are having fist fights in Golden Corral. How many trays of chicken do you really think you're supposed to be able to eat? And why is all you can eat a personal challenge instead of a dining option?
You ain't shit for that, brother, Dr. Short. You ain't shit.
Dr. Short, you a cold gangster, man. I just want to tell you that. You know what we call them out here? We call those type niggas, we call those niggas tender dick niggas. And them, the women, we call them plus size princesses.
Well, I call them pork chop feminists.
We call them plus size princesses. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's
they so comfortable sitting on their ass, dictating like they Captain Kirk riding an Enterprise, trying to tell people what to do and trying to run the world. You know, my dad always told me that a woman thinks she could conquer the world with her coochie. You know what I'm saying? So the ones who feel like they don't have any other attribute, that's what they sit on. So Dr. Short, you are 100% correct. That's why, hey, it's cheers to you, man. You know, on your birthday, man, we're gonna celebrate you on your space. We're gonna have a
Thank you.
space. We're gonna celebrate you, man.
Cool.
For
And you know
real,
what?
cause it's to
Those,
you.
we need to call them multiplication princesses, because plus is just addition. No,
Two
no, no, no,
times
no.
princess come a two times princess.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about exponential, because when you have enough rolls and shit to be an Aztec pyramid, like people got sacrificed on your left side down in, in the Yucatan. I'm serious. If you go to the beach and you think you're in the Yucatan looking at that broad from behind, you got that many steps. And she said, I didn't know I was in Mexico, right? That's ridiculous. That's not plus, that's multiplication. In fact, let me tell you something. If you really want to offend somebody when you break up with them, don't cuss them out. Don't call them a bitch. Get them a scale. That's it. Just leave them a scale.
Come on, man.
That's it.
I'm trying to be focused over here.
I got something better. Give them a mirror. You know what I mean?
No,
Give them a
but you
mirror
know
for the
why?
simple fact is they can't blame nobody else but they self. You know,
Let
ain't
me
no
tell.
accountability like self accountability.
But let me
For
tell
real.
you something. The problem with the mirror is that it has a frame, and they imagine themselves to fit within the frame of the mirror. So no, the scale is what they don't like. They'll
I
only
don't think they, but hey, Dr. Short,
they
you
only
giving them
put
too
one
much
foot up
credit.
there thinking that they'll
You
get
giving them
away
too
with that.
much credit. I don't think they wise enough to recognize the frame. Only thing they gonna see was before them, because 9 times out of 10 they gonna look in that mirror and they gonna hate it and wish they could change it into somebody
No,
else. You know what I mean?
when they look in the mirror, they see two things. They see a
Not
white
them.
they see a white woman that's in shape. You just don't know that they're an in shape white woman. I'm serious. Trust me. When they
You're not lying. You're not lying.
so
I met a chick who told me, she said the pure definition of beauty is a white woman. She
sure.
told me that. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I went the hell off on her.
No, no,
I
no.
went the hell off
Don't
on
you
her.
know you shouldn't do that. You should agree with her. That
No,
would be
hell no.
no, 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 no. You do. I tell you why. She
I'm
knows.
listening.
She knows she's not white. Let me tell you a real story. There's a woman. She's overweight. She's probably bigger now. Her name is Pat
Plus size
Thomas.
princess. Okay, yeah.
No,
And her name is
multiplication.
Pat.
No, no, no. She's a pork chop
Hey,
feminist.
it ain't a plus, it's a times.
No, we got this thing from Boston. It's called
It's the time.
Fat Girl. She was a fat girl, but she went to church, and her mother's family all used to be on drugs. Her mother got saved, and her mother, my mother, friends, my mother would meet it. And I called this broad, and I think I told Chef the story, but anyway, I would call her, and because she asked me to call her, so I would. And each time I call her, she would watch Fox television, watch Martin and all these shows that used to come on Fox in the 90s. And she would talk to me during the commercial breaks. And as soon as the commercial break ended, she cut me off. Martin's talking. And I think I did this once or twice. And I kept saying to her, do you just want me to call you later? Oh, no, I'm watching the next show. So she would watch the show from 5 o'clock to 10. And of course, she turned the TV off at 10 because it's news. She don't want no information. So for 5 hours, she would watch the TV every day. And what she wanted, ideally, what she expected is for guys to call her and talk to her during the commercial break so she didn't have to listen to the commercials so she could go back to watch the stupid television. I think I did it once or twice. I began to say, God, this is weird. I don't want, I'm considerate. If they want to watch TV, watch TV. Talk to me when you're free. Oh, no, can't stay on the phone. So the last time we spoke, which was about 1994, wow, what's that? That's 30 years goes by fast. Let me tell you something. This actually happened. I said to her, is it possible for us to talk without the television? Because she says, well, you don't really want to talk to me. This is after I went through this for a couple of weeks. And this is what you mean. She says, well, you don't like me. I says, well, why am I talking to you? No, you don't like me. Okay. I says, well, what do you mean? You don't like people like me. What do you mean people like you? You like white women.
Ugh.
And I says, excuse me? Mind you, I finished UVA and Harvard full of white women. You didn't see me married to one. So I'm thinking I grew up with white girls. It is okay, I'm hearing this, right? All right. So I says, what do you mean? Well, you like white women. People like you like white women. You want a white woman. All right. So I says, what do you mean? Well, you like white women. And says, I'm still not understand. And again, what's my studies? Black American studies, Southern history, African American church. All this stuff is black I'm doing. You tell me about white women. All right. So I said, okay, what you mean? Well, you know how you are, how you want a white woman. And says, you know what I mean. So I says, oh, you mean I want someone that's friendly, cooperative, someone that knows how to cook, that's kind, that likes children, that's respectful. She says, yeah. I says, I don't want, if that's what you mean by white woman, I don't want one. I want 10.
Ugh.
She hung the phone up. We haven't spoken since. I have one word, fuck her. Okay. um, but uh, um,
Hey, brother Short, they sent me a message. They said you gonna mess with a white girl? That's all
Ugh.
cold.
I mean,
Disgusting.
I never said anything about messing with a white girl. What I said was her definition of a submissive, cooperative, loving, friendly, non-combative, in shape woman. If that's what you mean by white, yes, I want as much of that as I can get. You're
Mm.
exactly right. And that's when she hung up because she's fat, combative, difficult, disrespectful, unsubmissive, unfriendly, nasty, negative. Why should I, after all of that effort to like get well educated, trained, become to get some ghetto bitch that's going to make me miserable and ultimately cheat on me and divorce me, and I become the bastard? When I'm the one that got screwed the whole way through, and there are plenty of black men out here who have settled. They always talk about the women settling. Damn it, all the black men, 1/3 of them are raising, if not half of black men in this country raise bastards that aren't theirs because that woman, her vagina was the community drive-through. And that guy felt if he was a good guy who worked regularly, respected her, and kept his drawers on, he could transform a whore into a lady. Surprise, surprise. You can't make a tire into a donut.
Hey, brother Short. So
You
so
can't
in
turn a
the
hoe into
case,
a housewife.
hold on. So the case of Joe Smith, former basketball player,
Oh my God.
huh? Was that what he was attempting to do with the young lady? What's her name? Keyshawn or whatever, Chris Shad or whatever the hell that name is.
You know what? I'm going to say this to you. I don't feel anything for that gentleman for a specific reason. I'm sick and tired of black men and their own little pimp slut whore culture where the only kind of women they're attracted to are black women that are hoes.
That's
They,
called the easy
I,
that's
I'm
called
sick
the
and
easy
tired
woman,
because
RandyShort.
for the
That's
same
the easy woman.
for the same way that, and one of my first experiences in life was watching my father counsel supposedly a church woman who, by the way, was overweight. So, to me, if you're gonna get the woman that you want, don't compromise. Don't let these sisters lowball you to get with somebody that could make, if you got on a 747, she'd make the fuel economy of the jet go down. Do not let this slothful, no good feminist culture trick you that you take an unhealthy, morbidly obese woman. In fact, there's some of the biggest holes out there to prove that they for when they may not be in shape, but they may screw 10 times more than the skinny girl. to prove, I may not be in shape, but I get more men than she does. Oh, yes, they do. And they're guys who think when they get a fat woman that they'll have her all to themselves. It's a lie. Fat girls can be hoes too. And the thing about fat girls is that, you know what? Um, the thing about fat girls is they're interesting. The same way they can't control their calories, they can't control their passion. There's something about obesity where women have more testosterone when they're overweight. They have a bigger sex drive. It's interesting. The more unhealthy they are, the more they want sex when they don't look good. I'm just telling you. So look, it's these black men that want these sorry women are like the black women that want sorry men, and they deserve what they get. Back to the woman in the church. What happened was she was in love with the criminal who was a druggie dealer. And you know what happened? He got caught. She had these kids. She came to Jesus, and the people in the church guilt tripped this nice guy into taking on this woman's fuck trophy collection. And this guy cook, clean, good dad, go to PTA, change diapers, do the infant formula, regular with the sex, paid bills, but she missed the criminal dude. I guess gangster dick packs more punch for certain sisters. There's an allure of having trashy men. Trashy men screw better. This was something that I've learned, that there are a lot of black women that think that good guys can't screw. They don't have any empirical evidence, but that's how they feel. Good guys can't screw. Bad guys screw the best. Even if they're in jail and they're screwing their celly, they still screw better than the nice guy with the job because he's weak and he's reliable. So this woman came to my father with all of these lies about how bad her husband was and how he wasn't this and he didn't do that and he's failing this and such and such. And my dad's trying to figure out, when did this suddenly happen? You've only been married about 3-4 years. When did he suddenly become such a bad husband? And she says, well, it's in the last few months. And my dad asks the standard questions. Is he working? Yes. Is he violent? No. Does he pay bills and the rent? Yes. Is he kind to you? Yes. Are you intimate? Like, are you getting dick? Yes. Is he good to the kids? Yes. Comes to church with you? Pray with? Yes. Ma'am, I'm trying to see where is the rupture. What makes him bad? And she says, well, he's too good.
Oh no.
And my father says, too good how? Well, what are the children his? And she says, well, he's adopted them. My father, so the children aren't his. Well, their father is in jail. And so what does that have to do with your marriage with the man that's adopted your children now? Do the children miss their dad? She said they didn't really know him. Then what's the problem? The kids are happy, your husband's happy, you're miserable. Sex is regular, bills are paid, he's reliable, he's kind, he's God-fearing, he respects you, he loves the children that aren't biologically his. And wait a minute. When do you anticipate your ex getting out of jail? It was in a few months. And my father says, I don't think you're being honest with me. when you have sex, how much do you enjoy it versus him? And she said her husband was all right. So my father says, can I infer that the father of the children that abandoned you did it better? I don't want to say that. Says, well, you're comparing him. If he's okay and you've had better, who did you have it better with? Can I infer that the parent of the children that he's adopted did it better? Well, you're trying to make me bad. Since you're the one that said this dude was subpar in bed, you're comparing him to somebody. If you're not mentioning any other person, then it's the gentleman that's incarcerated that was a better sex partner that abandoned you. And she then turned and tried to make it out that my father was trying to guilt trip her. Ultimately, she dumped the man that had adopted the children and went back and got the incarcerated dude. The dick was that good. So everything that the janitor man did wasn't good enough. And that's a lot of black men. Don't you marry these hoes with all these children. They need to be single and alone. When they were desperate, when it was when people were scorned for having children outside of the wedlock, the women were more humble. When men made a woman that was a slut with children equal to a virgin that had no children, black men zeroed out their value in the mating market. We black men have done this. We black men said a hoe with bastards by everybody on the block is equal to the good girl that can keep her legs shut. We have to stop doing that. We have to make being a hoe and a slut something that women are ashamed of. There are no other group of women in the world that run around boasting about being hoes. Not like we have in our community. Even if the GCPs are paying them to do it, you wouldn't dare do this anywhere else. And it's we black men who act like the world's going to run out of pussy if we have any standards, dignity, value, or character, because also we learned that. And who wants black men not to have standards, dignity, integrity, or character? The pork chop feminist slut culture, the fat girls, all of them have a conspiracy with the fagonists and the simps that black men should take less. We want no standards so everybody can do what they want. That includes pedophilia. That includes omnisexual confusion. And we have to have a revolution against the sexual pollution in our community, whether it's pervaded by men or women. And it has to start with patriarchs. And Kevin Samuels is hated. Kevin Samuels is hated because he said the bullshit is over. And whereas T.D. Jakes said, woman, thou art loose, Kevin Samuels said, patriarchs, thou art loose.
Hey, check this out, brother Dr. Short and brother Twiz. Sister DW says in the comments that she was bored with her husband. Now, you know what? Listen, I hear that quite often. I hear that sentiment quite often. And you know what? Men, we get bored.
No,
we get bored.
I don't even want to hear that. I don't listen to that. Broad, you took vows before God if you're married. So you're a liar. It's in sickness and health, for better, for worse. You're a fraud. Make it interesting. You can find some new dick if you change your attitude. Stop running around here thinking that man is an entertainment center. He's not Xbox. He's a human being. You're bored. Hell, it isn't how fascinated you are. It's how committed. When you say you're bored, it's another way for a woman saying she's not committed. There's a lot of people, they don't really mean it. For years, we've heard the men don't commit. It's a goddamn lie. These pork chop feminists don't commit either. The highest rate of divorce for women in this country are Black American women. It's kind of hard to keep them interested. They have to constantly, go out, do this, do that. Who told you that you're supposed to be entertained all the time? Why not think about doing something that's exciting to him? Why not greet him at the door from work wrapped in saran wrap? Why not try some new positions, try some new food? You're bored. Maybe you're boring to him, but he stays. I mean, it's interesting. When we watch TV, it's always a woman's perspective. You don't hear what we're saying on TV. You know why? Because television is always oriented towards capitalism to get women to spend money. And if you told women the truth about themselves, like this garbage that you're bored, how dare you? I would tell you, you shouldn't have. You're bored, maybe because you didn't have deep conversations. I know a lot of women, they don't like men that talk. Then about 10 years into the marriage, he doesn't talk to me. Bitch, you never had a conversation with him before you married him.
Oh no.
I know women that don't like men talking. They basically decide when they're going to screw him when they first meet him, not get to know who the person is. You don't even get that. You're not even intimate with these people. You like how he looks. He doesn't say that much. So basically, these women treat men like accessories, like earrings, or a tattoo, or a new car. After they get their job, well, I've done this, I've done that, I've got some degrees. Oh, well, now it's time to find a man that I can fit into my life like a tampon. And when it's all, soiled up, I pull it by the string, call the divorce court, or wrap it up and get another one. And they treat men like accessories. Y'all talk about the objectification of women. These goddamn feminist liar hypocrites. Men are objectified every goddamn day. And men don't bitch and complain on television to white people about all of our intimate problems. Because you know what? Nobody would like a lot of y'all if black men talked. We've kept your secrets. You don't do it for us. So, I don't bored my ass. Shouldn't have married him. Should have known who. Find someone interesting. Let me tell you something. I'm going to say this, Chef C. I have watched this my entire life. The black men that were intelligent, that were engaging, the women didn't give the time of day. I saw that as a teacher, as a professor, as a public school teacher. I saw it as a student. I saw it in college. These women got the most shallow men that were boring because they didn't want to engage with the man. A man was an accessory. Then they get with the guy and they says, we don't have any engaging conversations. You didn't get the nigga for a conversation. You got him for a fuck. And he does that. Now you don't like fucking anymore. God. I mean, so it's you. If you wanted interesting people that read or think, you would have found them. You guys are phonies. And in reality, I had to tell this sister off at Howard. When I said to her, I'm always going to give you feminist hell. She said, the big problem with you guys is that you don't really look at a man. You're mainly concerned about how well he can screw you. And the woman says, well, it's kind of hard to predict. And I says, it's not hard. That's what you're doing. Predict. You're trying to figure out what kind of dick the man has before you figure out who he is. That's why you're not interested in who he is. You're interested in what he has. You're transactional. You're the grifter. The old men that wore the wife beater t-shirts that were the assholes. It's interesting. The women have become the old sexist men with pussies. The women now are the new men. They're the difficult, grumpy, unhappy people. Instead of women learning how to be happy about being female, about being mothers and wives, they've so de-emphasized the beauty of being a mother, a grandmother, of being a wife, until the things that used to fulfill women don't, because you guys don't really want to be women. You're mad that you don't have dicks. That's the problem. And you bring all this shit about what the man doesn't have. In reality, you hate God, and you hate God for making you a woman. And we black men stupidly think if we make enough money, if we go to the gym, have enough muscles, if we do this, if we don't bring up any conversations that make women unhappy, they'll be happy. If you hate God and you're unhappy being a woman, there ain't a damn thing a man can do except he should run away from that bitch like he's Jesse Owens on fire. That's what they need to do. And the reason that we're beginning to get some resolution to this problem, thank God for Kevin Samuels, is that black men have been told it's okay to talk about this stuff, because it used to be if you weren't constantly in the pussy, rah-rah, amen corner, your sexuality was attacked. Women could say anything they want. A woman could say, I'm a lesbian, I hate men, and she's still straight. A black man could mention, I got molested by my mom and her friends when she's young. Dude say, you better not say you gay. I'm not saying the dude should be gay. I'm just saying it's interesting. When you talk about sexual abuse and domestic violence, this stuff happens to men, and actually almost more or less the same numbers as women. You don't see the men out here constantly complaining, blaming women for everything. In fact, a lot of dudes try to work on it. I'm going to tell you, we have a major mental health issue in our community among our women. They're too proud to go in and see a psych. I'm talking about a real psych, not one that just wants to give them a bunch of pills and fuck them, which is what a lot of them settle for, but a psych that will confront them about whether you got molested, or even better, did your mama tell you so many bad things about men? She made you into her trash can, but she stayed with her husband until he died. You have never even been interested in being married because of all the shit your mama told you. Yet your mama got herself some dick. Your mama's the crook. How many of these girls are neglected and abused by their mothers, but because of feminism, they channel all that into that safe pocket where you can hate, is that you can hate black men. And black men do the same thing. We channel all our hate towards other black men, all this competition. And at the same time, this is ridiculous. We need to start being mature. And so this divorce, let's get to the topic tonight. I've had so many friends who've had wives cheat on them, wives do all kinds of crazy stuff to them. I just heard from a friend whose wife ruined his multi-million-dollar business, did everything to destroy him without he couldn't even understand what's going on. This dude was about to buy a 60-acre farm and make maybe $5-6 million a year, right? And all of a sudden, the wife decides to take over the business, maybe to give it to someone else. Out of nowhere, she wants to run the business, begins attacking all the people around, changing the prices and stuff. She went to the people who are going to sell $3.5 million worth of land to their husband and told them to double the price on the land, that he could afford it. She tried to destroy her husband's business and divorce him and take all the assets. And guess what? She just got married. Now, if you just divorced him within the last 6 months, and you just got married, don't you think those two were fucking before they got married, people? Are you understanding me? By the way, this guy's a pastor. So the man's wife, this guy's making $250,000 a month for all the women that bitch. It has nothing to do with money. You broads are liars. When the men are rich, you divorce them twice as fast. We can't. An ungrateful woman, and ingrate is an abomination in the Bible. You ungrateful women don't deserve anybody. You don't. This woman had a plan to steal everything from her husband and leave him out with nothing. If I told you how many friends of mine have been living in their cars, kids, everything taken, you would have thought that these men had beat. And I know these men. They haven't put their hands on the woman. They haven't cheated on the woman. And they go into the white man's court and everything gets taken from them. Their credit gets ruined. All of this because she said. Black women, that's treason. I'm telling you, everywhere else in the world, women like that get killed. Not discussed. There are women right now, man, I don't give a damn if you're angry. Be glad I talk. Be glad we're talking. There's a lot of stuff happening. Like the women, I've seen these cases all over the country where there are women. There's a whole cottage industry of black women who are snitches for the police that lie and get people put away in jail for crimes they didn't commit, they weren't trying to commit. And these women, for pennies, destroy a man, and they're cool because they got some earrings and they got to get some weave. And you put an innocent man, you destroyed his life for the cops because you felt like it. Because it's a black man and black men ain't shit. And he either gets assaulted or had to fight to protect his manhood in prison. And then when he gets out of jail, some of these guys go back and execute these broads. It's awful that that happens, but if someone caused you, Twizzler, lied on you, and had you put away in Pelican Bay for something you never did, and you had to face the Aryan nations and Nuestra Familia because some bitch lied for a few $100s against you, how would you feel? See, women say there's violence against women. Well, damn it, some of these women are part of the violence. They're in gangs. They're contributing to the climate of confusion and hate out here. And when they get whacked like a dude who contributes to the climate of hate, oh, it's a sex thing. No. It's a crime and criminality, and it's a payback thing, and it's blowback. You fucked over someone, and someone got you just as much as a black man that gets shot and killed every day. If you're in the drug game, if you're in the gang game, if you're in the sex trafficking game, if you're in the snitch for the cops against the brothers game, there is a penalty. Your sex has nothing to do with it. It is your violation of honor in the street or a violation of the code that got you jacked up. It is not men just doing this to women. It's men that are criminals dealing out criminal justice to a female criminal. I don't like it, but men get shot, stabbed, and shanked every day that do the same thing. What, because you have a pussy? You don't get the consequence? Do you know the only people that think like that are Western modern women, that I'm not accountable for the actions that I take? If I do wrong, nothing's done to me. You remember the Clint Eastwood movie, Every Which Way But Loose, brother? Remember the scene where they're beating Clint Eastwood's character's ass on the train? And they're just beating him, whooping his ass. And he begins to fight off all the people that jumped him. And the last person that he's got to confront is a woman. She's been beating and punching him with the other men. And you know what the female character says? You wouldn't hit a woman. That's after she's been beating him. You wouldn't hit a woman. And he punches the bitch in the face and she flies out the side door of the train. It's a hell of a scene. Of course you'd hit a woman. Stop mistreating people. Part of the answer is the second commandment. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you treat people right and you don't hang around low characters, you might meet people that treat you right back. Maybe. It's possible. Chef, haven't you met some people that you were decent? You decent, they're decent? And you watch them, make certain that they are consistent. You know, a lot of our ladies like danger. It's like a science project or a safari to run with rogue guys. He wouldn't do that to me. My God. If he screwed 5 other women and left them with kids, why wouldn't he screw you too? Why is your stuff so much better than the other people? And then after you've been the fifth one to have a kid with him, why should some other guy come in when your stupid ass got with a dude who had bastards with other women? Now it's another dude's responsibility to take care of that child, and they owe you. You fucked up and he owes you. And if he marries you, you can divorce him and take all of his money to subsidize another man's bastard. We're the only group of men on the earth that accept such a thing. I blame black men for having low ass standards. And that's the one thing I hope that Kevin Samuels' movement does, is to teach black men to elevate their standards. I have a saying. Repeat after me, brother Twizzler. I'm going to say it. If it's not my come, I'm not the one. If it's not my come, I'm not the one. I will not raise another man's bastards. If I have to die alone and my nuts dry up and fall off, I will not. I have not, will not, never come to me with this little mileage as you've got. And I'm sorry, it's a pitiful man who discounts a woman's body count. That's like a car with 500,000 miles on it, and you want to roll it off the lot like it's brand new. My motto is more than two, I'll never screw. Keep the stiff clean, keep your legs shut, be classy, be a woman, be a lady, and not a lady of the night. And brothers, let the hoes be with the simps and the faggots. It's time for quality men to have quality women. In fact, in a lot of other countries, along with cooking and cleaning, one anticipates, yes, virginity, that your vagina doesn't have pinups all over the internet. That when you walk down the street, your wife doesn't have a fans only club bigger than Madonna's. Where dudes come up and say, man, if you hit it from the back, that's what you... Guys that can give you pointers about your woman's ass that you've never seen before. Huh? What kind of man wants that? Women find that disgusting when they're with the man and too many women know him. How come men are expected to be patient with the woman who's, she's been around more than the satellites have in the space? The satellite goes around the earth. I mean, the woman's got more air miles on her vagina than Air Force One. Look, you don't need to get married, and you'll be one of those miserable women that lives in assisted living somewhere with no children and no man. We have to drain the swamp of the pork chop feminists, of the women who think being tramps is cool. It isn't. And back to this divorce thing. I've had so many friends who've had women that either wanted to steal the real estate, had another man on the side, all of this. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Black men, I don't blame black women. I blame black men. We've been pathetic. We've been silent to each other for too long. We need to start being real about this. In fact, the women have these websites where they can tell you about a man that's a cheater. It's interesting. We don't have sites on women that cheat. We need to have our own. We need a PIA, a PPPIA, a Patriarch Penis Intelligence Agency, where we know about where your stuff has been and who you've been with. We know about child support fraudsters. We know about people where we could give a rating. That's right. We're going to have a Yelp for penises. So look somebody up in a particular city. If a person's been out there too much. That broad is a drink grifter at the bars downtown, or she's this or she's that, or she's a Red Lobster freak. She needs to go to Red Lobster like 10 times a week, or they can't. We need to start doing this. Raise the stand on this. And we should even let people know she can't cook tacky clothes.
You said a Red Lobster freak.
Yeah, Red Lobster freak. And some like the Olive Garden. I don't know what it's about. It's because olive look like small testicles or something. They like Olive Gardens. I don't know.
Them Olive Garden hoes. You gotta watch out for them Olive Garden hoes.
Yeah, I mean they like yeah.
Extra bread stick bust downs. Them extra bread stick bust downs and side salads. You know.
And Ruby Tuesday holes and Applebee's. There's certain places the people like that, they never cook. People that are slutty like certain places to eat. This is just something. I start hearing Red Lobster, I start getting scared. Ooh.
That's why I tell everybody, if she wants you to go to Red Lobster, she wants you to go to Olive Garden, she ain't the one.
Right.
Don't focus too hard. If she wanna always go to Carrabba's, you gotta watch out for her.
No, see, we
listen, or even listen. I don't know if it's Carrabba's or it's the motherfucking if it's Blue Ribbon or Sizzlers that the chicks are worse. But I don't know, man. I'm talking about Olive Garden chicks who go and they order extra breadsticks. You better watch out for those.
And also watch out for the Panda Express sisters. They're dangerous too. Just certain people, I hear certain places, oh, I'm afraid of her. She went to Panda Express. First thing you know is one thing you know about the
Sabora hoes. You gotta watch out for the Sabora hoes.
And there's another type, studs like Chipotle.
That's a fact. Now that's a fact.
And I don't know. It's I don't know why studs like Chipotle. I don't know why. just
Listen, you up there in DC, brother Dr. Short. Them bend over chili bowl hoes up there. Bends over chili bowl hoes. You got them over there by you.
And something else. I don't like women that smoke blunts. I think a woman that likes cigars probably likes dildos. I'm just saying. I see a woman smoking blunts. No, I don't trust. Women need to be wholesome. Women need to be wholesome.
Correct, brother Short. You know what it is? I'm looking at the stats here. You know. And you would think it had, just the inability to be loyal to the man would have something to do with fathers, particularly Black American fathers, not being in the households, not being present, not being involved. But a study came out last year in June.
Tell the story.
June of June 23rd, right, came out a study showing that Black American men, all right, are the best fathers in of any ethnicity out there right now.
Did someone tell Oprah's ass, her lying ass, and color slurple freaks out here? Every time there's an anti-Black male media thing, they're all there to justify their lesbianism. And let me say this now, shut up. Black men, it's our fault. Black women revile homosexuality in Black men. And that's their right. I wonder why Black men revere homosexuality in Black women. Black men suck in the economy of relationships because the Black man that's gay is seen as subpar among women and men in our community. But for Black women straight and Black men straight, see, homosexuality for Black women is basically the same as being straight. We're the only men that give away moral authority in relationships where it's okay for a woman to cheat on you with the woman because it's two women. Men can't even have buddies to keep their women happy. I found a lot of women that leave and divorce and destroy men. They even destroy their buddies who are straight I mean, they have to prove they're straight all the time, as if women are some kind of fucking morality judge of every man. But no man can morally judge women whether they're studs or not. We black men, it's our fault for us to be such suckers, chumps, and punks that we don't call a stud out. A woman that's unnatural. In fact, there's some of the most vicious people in our community are studs. They make certain that black men don't get jobs. They destroy the kids in the schools. They betray our community to the illegals and to the foreigners and to the GCPs and the whites. Some of the most vicious people in our community are studs. We should no longer see studs as five-star sisters. They're not. They're subversives. They hate the family. They hate patriarchy. They hate womanhood. They hate black boys. They hate black men. We need to start looking cross-eyed at studs. Absolutely. They're terrible people. I believe that woman, her name is Kissy, that watched Eric Garner get choked to death and didn't say anything to white dudes. I believe she's a stud. Had a straight black man watched a black woman be killed by white cops, folks would be questioning his manhood. If right, they would. But if a black woman sits up and watches a black man executed by white people that does nothing, she's cool. She's first class. She's okay. I'm trying to think why. Are you hearing me, Chef? What is it about black men where black women don't have to show loyalty or decency or integrity in relationship to us, but we have to be so good in relationship to them?
Well, I mean, listen, brother Short, we've been brought up in a society where and just before you tapped in, see, there you go. Just before you tapped in, brother Short, I was talking to Twins, and I said, listen, I need any female that I deal with, she got to qualify for me to open the door for her. You got to qualify. Listen, I'm not running around. I'm not it's cold outside. You going to freeze, goddammit, if you ain't got the right jacket. I'm not taking my shit off if you ain't qualified.
And exactly, okay? Exactly. And brother, isn't that something? By the way, I see this brother, he agrees. Calvin Bennett says that he doesn't like cigars, and he said Ruby Tuesday. Yeah, Ruby Tuesday. There's certain places that these people like to go to. I hear someone goes to a place too much, I get scared. You know, it's like studs like Ben and Jerry's. I see them with the pint of Ben and Jerry. Now Haagen-Dazs, they straight, but not Ben and Jerry's. It's like the certain stuff which, you know, when are we going to hold people accountable and raise the standards? So fair is fair. Black men need to understand that we need some diversity, inclusion, and equity, or diversity, equity, and inclusion in our community. For example, you know, I don't know if y'all remember being in school and the honor society, if you went to a black school, was all female and nobody minded. Not one boy in the school was smart, but all the girls were smart. And black men never complained about it. And all the teachers were black and female. There's not one smart guy in the school, and all the girls are so smart. I've watched this. I'm sorry, black women. A lot of you have done a great disservice to the race, and they need to start being called on it. And black men have to stop being bitches. It's we must have rules for everybody. If we do not, we collapse from within. And I want to say something. What we want to see from Pat Talk, I was speaking to another brother that you have to meet, Chef C, in Chicago. We need to have this Patriarch Summit and look at, because there's got to be a lawyer somewhere in this universe where we can begin to put together lawyers and people to see if we can begin, even if we can find a city or county or state, to begin to push for public policies that are more fair towards black men and boys. And not only that, begin to check judges. We need to be able to look at divorce judges, and if they're not fair, and every time a black man goes to divorce, just every 100% of his assets go to the female, no matter what she does. We need to get some of these judges voted out, like the Negroes who say they don't vote. Forgive me, dumbass black men with lots of excuses and all the answers. Where judges can be elected, we need to start electing judges that are anti-feminism. I'm pro-equality where equality is applicable. I can't equal a woman in lactation or hot flashes or menstrual cycles because I have a dick. And at the same time, a vagina can no longer be seen as an all access American Express card for black women. You're gonna have to verify that your all access pass is
Come on,
good.
come on.
Okay,
Right.
we've got, we may need to start shipping some of these women out here. Find out what you're doing, where you've been. You get where I'm coming from? Isn't it interesting that men don't ask to look inside women's phones, but women insist on looking in ours? Women want to know what your weight is, but you can't ask them what their is. They want to know your age, but you can't ask them. Where's this thing where you do so much damn privacy for you, and yet all my shit is public? Why do we accept this? Men must rebel against these contradictions. We must. And back to this divorce, we need to find Kevin Samuels, Kevian lawyers, where we can create something like a legal shield for black men when they're facing custody cases and when they're facing divorce, that you can call the number. Well, we have someone that isn't as sloppy in speech as Crump, the one that looks like Curious George that goes everywhere, Benjamin Crump. I'm sorry. I mean, remember Stymie from the Little Rascals? He's far more articulate than this dude that's this lawyer that goes everywhere.
Yuck mouth niggas, man. Too many yuck mouths.
We need some black lawyers.
He's an embarrassment.
We need some Thurgood Marshall type anti-feminist lawyers that could begin. That's what Pat Talk needs to develop, a group of feminist, pork chop feminist busting lawyers across the country, where we do stuff like these white policy groups. And like they have this thing called ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council, and all they do is make anti-black policies that they submit to Congress. We need to have pro-black male lobbying for the courts and everything else. And that way, anytime there's some crazy feminism, we bust it. Imagine if, my friends, when you go in, if you go to court,
Wait a minute, let me put some boom in it.
The short, we got another soldier.
We have another patriarch. We have Brother Dome.
brother Q of Let's Talk to Brother
man.
Q. Peace to you, sir. Peace to you on this Friday, man. We just get.
Hey, Chef C, and Brother Q got good hair. And he got good hair. You understand?
He got good hair.
He got perfect hair.
Well, I always say I've got good hair in my drawers.
TMI, Dr. Short. TMI.
No, what I'm trying to say is it's what
TMI, Dr.
I'm just saying it's wavy. Since all these people are into straight hair, right? That goes back to school when we had all these. DC is full of color struck people. You know what I'm talking about, Chef? How everybody's light skinned and this. I hate all that stuff. So I remember someone
call me light skinned. We gonna fight.
Yeah, I don't like that. So one girl kept saying, "Oh, he's got good hair. He's got good hair," and I says, "I got good hair too." She says, "Where?" She says, "In my drawers, where it counts." And we never had another conversation about good hair again because I said we all have good hair. I'll show you sometime. So,
hey, so Brother Dr. Short, let me bring Brother Q up to snuff. Shout out to our Brother Q for joining the conversation. Just a little
shout out to Brother Q. You understand?
Kind of conversation tonight. Just a special edition here because Brother Short hit me up early. He knows I got my routine. I'm in the gym. I do what I do. And but this he was expressing some things, and we're feeling a certain way about unsuspecting husbands or boyfriends to be when they're dealing with these vicious savage women out here and ultimately take everything from them. The brother don't even get to have his dog no more. She take the dog from you too, and now you're sleeping in the fucking van.
Well,
You know,
chef, I don't think feminists are women. They're a different species. That's I make a complete distinction between women and feminists. I mean, women I love. In fact, I love women. Feminists, that just makes me want to discriminate. A feminist is like a dude. A feminist
Dr.
is
Short,
just,
you know what my dad used to call them? He used to call them bulldaggers. It
yeah,
means like the biggest thing they hate is a swinging dick. That's the biggest
yeah,
thing they hate.
yeah.
As soon as
We
a real man come their way, oh, it's all out war. You understand
and
me?
exactly.
So,
They're
as you
not
say, the pork chop
women.
feminists, the butches, the one that act like men,
Yes.
those are the biggest black man haters that's out
They're the enemy. I don't see them as women. I don't relate to them as women. You don't want to be a woman. You got your wish. You're not a woman. You're just a man to me. You're a man that's out of order that needs to be sat the fuck down. We
there.
must discriminate. They discriminate against us. True equality means that we must discriminate against them. This is a war without mercy against anyone that does not want to be in their sex, that hates our family, that hates our sisters, that wants to wreck our community because they hate the fact that, you know, maybe they've got an X chromosome, I'm sorry, a Y chromosome tacked on. We didn't do it to you. Don't take it out on us. It's time for black men to wage war against feminism. This is a war of spiritual and intellectual cruelty in which there can be no negotiation. Either we will have patriarchy or we will have social death as a people. We must have patriarchy. I mean, the unconditional surrender of feminism. It must capitulate. It must be crushed, stomped, and buried. And what we can't
Dr.
bury
Short,
should
we
be
got
set
one
on
more
fire.
though. We
What?
got one more we need to add to that.
Mm,
As long as the pork chop feminists, we need to add them bed wenches too.
mm.
These bed wenches thinking just because they land next to a Neanderthal, they think they can harness that power. You understand me? But I keep telling them, once you with that Neanderthal, you are a Neanderthal now. You got to be with him. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? If you, in the words of Dr. John Henry Clark, once you go there, you stay there. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
and,
saying?
and
So
and
that's
and
another one we need to add to that
I
thing too.
I
Because
I
if you
agree.
want to sacrifice the culture, if you want to sacrifice your people for love, you stay there. You
I,
know what I'm saying?
and it's even more aggressive than that. My point is this, and I agree with you. The people who want that, but I'm gonna tell you something. The economy is crashing, and I don't know if you've noticed. There's a thing called familicide. Familicide. That's where a man tends to kill his whole family because economics gets bad. A black man can handle being broke. A lot of white men, where everything's gone their way, I mean, they apply to get 10 or 12 job offers and they apply for one. We apply for 1,000 jobs and don't get one response. We can handle that somehow. This economy is going south. And so you have a high rate of suicide for white men above the age of 35 in this country. When the economy gets bad and these guys they've been on what I call a bush bitch safari. So basically, you want yourself you basically want to get a ghetto girl. You want a black female for the novelty of it. But when your money gets bad and that little ghetto girl, loud talking, dicey type behavior that white guys think is cute at first. It's sort of like a dog that barks too much. At first, you think you can handle it, then you want to put that shit to sleep. That's what will happen with a lot of black women with men in other cultures.
Bed
And
wenches.
and I'm just saying to you, when the economy gets tough, those men are gonna dump these black women. Yeah, oh yes, they are. They're going to dump them. And again, I would say this: if it's not my cum, I'm not the one. Do not, do not, do not, do not hook up with someone that has left the community because they found black men is not good enough. Black men cannot be sexual rebound janitors. When you leave us, stay gone. And not only that, the punishment for bypassing us is to stay bypassed. And that's the thing. I'm going to just tell you, I agree with you. And let me say this, and I'm going to shut up. When the white gentlemen have a financial problem, they're hard on white women. God knows how they're going to be on black women.
Oh,
That's why I'm saying to you, sirs.
they beat white women.
Yeah,
They do.
but not only that, they get insurance policies. A whole lot of black a whole lot of black women are basically insurance eggs. When they're ready to cash these women in, they will. There'll be a large number of black women that are going to get offed by their white husbands, and that'll be that. And if their brothers are judges or sheriffs or this, it's done. And it happens every now and then. There's a story in the news. Like, did you hear in New York about the pusher that was in the white people's freezer? That everybody knew that this white man and woman had dismembered this black drug dealer, and the whole white building knew, and nobody told. White folks can keep a secret when they don't like black people, which is a significant number. If it's an unpopular, loudmouth, opinionated black woman, and this dude decides to cash her in, the white majority of people will look the other way if his black bedwench whore has some bad fate. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to get in the crossfire between some black woman that needed to screw people in other races because a black man ain't shit. Now all of a sudden, okay, you don't want me to foster her bastards, but you want me to fight the white world because she got tired of being with a burgundy penis. No, that's your problem. I've had this happen once, sir, where there was a woman I stopped talking to who was Kenyan, who had a son with this white woman. And she wanted me to get in the middle of his fight with his white wife over custody of these kids. This is, ma'am, I don't extend myself to interracial couples. That's not what my talent is for. My talent is for black American people. I don't mind helping people, but in this instance, not only are you asking me to intervene, you're being a dishonest woman with me. Your son that was brought up to think that white's better loves that white woman. He will hate my guts as I try to help him be in touch with his half-black child. No dice. Let's never talk again. You raised him. It's something that you did wrong that would cause your son to not want to be with the black woman. I have no responsibility or accountability to try to address that problem. So please relieve my phone line. That's the last time we talked. We have to know how to say no. No is an answer. We get told no about pussy. Why can't we say no about stuff that matters to us? Women aren't the only people that can say no.
Shout out to Brother Q.
It's an interesting thing, this conversation. I was listening to, I was taking care of some business in the home. And when you think about it, it goes hand in hand. Simp culture and hoe culture. And brothers don't have that discipline, as Dr. Short always says about the brother fuckers. And then what happens, they wind up getting their ass kicked in the long run by a woman that don't give a fuck about them.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom line is, men got it, as everybody's been saying, big phrase that people like to say, standing on business means exactly what it says. Standing on business. Be who you are. Be the man that you say that you are. And that goes to even picking the type of woman that you choose to lay down with. Because not only are you getting the prize, you are the prize.
Mm-hmm.
You're the protector, you're the provider, you're the one who should be bringing some stability to her. Instead, simp culture, guys start compromising, seeing red flags in these women, and they just let their joint lead the way.
Yeah.
And she's gonna play you. She's gonna treat you exactly.
Well, you know what I think, Brother Q? I always ask the question, Q, and what you think about this? Like, see, cats be so damn thirsty. It don't even be that good. The cooch don't even be that good.
Oh my God. Oh my
and
God.
they willing to jump off the hill. They ready to crash out and do all type of stupid shit over some joint that don't even be wet, brother
Brother
Q.
Q, yeah, Brother Q, this is Tyler Twizzle right here. I agree with you on that aspect for the simple fact, where I come from, a lot of these dudes, and I'm gonna point a lot of these rappers out, a lot of these actors out, a lot of these athletes, and a lot of these people that's in the entertainment world who own this bullshit, thinking just because they got money and this and that, they can have their way. And it's that old school phrase: "It ain't tricking if you got it." Hell no. If you're not proud of who you are, and if you can't stand on your square and sell yourself, and if that woman not attracted to you to where you can subdue her mentally and have her, you don't need her. Especially when you are the prize, that's supposed to be a compliment to you. You shouldn't have to pay a woman for her attention. You shouldn't have to pay a woman for her time. Not only that, you shouldn't have to compensate a woman just to be in your presence. When you are the prize, you are the bag. Not only that, a lot of men, a lot of us men, we build ourselves up from nothing to become something. So we are to take all that and give it to somebody who we just met on the simple fact that we just want to kick it with them in a polite way. No, these lot of motherfuckers and these young dudes, they got the game so twisted to where they don't know how to be men to where they can be masculine enough to subdue a woman. See, they don't know how to get a woman's mind. If you can't get that mind, you don't need nothing else. Everything else, you just you reminded and you a trick. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is. This is trick culture, not simp culture. This is trick culture because if you listen to these women and they tell you what's a good man is a man who give him all his money, who give a woman all her money, who's there for her, give her his cars. He got full control. We had a situation to where certain women get caught cheating, and the man who she got caught cheating with is the one. Woman, you was cheating, so you are the one that was wrong. Now the women are innocent now because they're caught cheating. What type of shit is this?
That's where
I
the
come from a situation. I come from a situation to where when a woman, if you caught your woman cheating, you don't sweat that man. You check that woman because another man is just like you. If he don't know you, it's not his fault. You can't sweat that other man for hollering at another woman because you gonna do the same thing. Unless she got a ring on her finger, you don't know if she have another man or not. And like a lot of people don't agree with dude, but I fuck with Jason Black and I listen to him. I don't agree with him at the time, but I know how to agree and disagree and don't take things personal. And he right up on this one aspect. You know what I'm saying? You can never ever hold the next man accountable for what a woman do for the simple fact a woman is going to have multiple men. She's going to have resources because she can't have the acquisitions that we can possess. I'm out here building a business that I'm about to be a millionaire in this business. And I'm struggling, I'm striving, I'm fighting against motherfuckers. I have to go to places and look at houses to where it's drive-by shooters, gangbangers, and all kind of shit out to where I have to use my masculinity and my strength to do it. A woman couldn't do this for me. I have to do it. And as I'm building, people are going to reap the benefits and the reward for this. I'm not going to give this all up for that. And that's what certain people do. So therefore, if I entrust somebody with my time and patience, then they slip off to another reservation thinking the grass is greener. I'm not going to blame that reservation. I'm going to blame the person who I entrusted. Like, what the fuck is you doing? I invested in you. Now you going bad on me? Okay. Well, I'm going to leave you right where I left my last deposit. And in the words of Joe Pesci, when they find you is where I left you at. A lot of people out here are getting soft right now. We are men. Nobody care about us. Who give a fuck about us? If any one of us right now was out there doing bad right now, no place to stay, no car right now, and we came into these spaces like, oh man, could I get a GoFundMe, something to eat? Who gonna give a fuck about us? Nobody.
and
So
that
fuck that, man. It's time for men to be men, man. It's time for men to be strong. Cause who care about us though? All bullshit aside, Dr. Short, Chef C, Q, even me. Who care about us right now? Nobody.
But you know
We
what?
gotta be strong, man.
But we do need to be strong, but we need to be strong as a collective. And what black folk used to have were called mutual aid things, where black men banded together, didn't take a whole lot, but put a few pennies together to be able to help each other to stand and withstand. We need to get back to that. We need to get out of this ball hog. I don't need nobody else, or as I say, brother fucker culture, where every other black man is my enemy. And my only friend is my dick and the women I could pay off. This is a very stupid way. It's an antisocial, self-destructive, suicidal culture that we must get rid of. I'm not saying that you're not self-reliant and that you don't do your own thing, but in every city you have an Asian businessmen's association, you have the Filipinos, you have the Koreans. We're the only men who can't sit around the table and deal with each other. As long as we're catty and feminine and jealous and petty towards each other, and the world's going to run out of pussy, so I hate you for being straight, and then I hate you if you're fag. I hate you if you're bi. I hate you if you're into white women. I hate you if you're I-cell. I hate you if you're celibate. I'm just mad at you because you're a black man. And it's safe for me to hate all other black men because the world is unkind to me. And I channel all my hatred against other black men because I'm a coward. And I don't face off against the other groups that challenge us because in reality, they're organized as an army. And we're like an undisciplined, scattered force in retreat that doesn't even have a rear guard to allow us to retreat, to regroup. We have to become like a army and a nation, and it can be done. It is doable. And brother, we have to be the ones that care about us. And I'm not talking about no queer romance. I'm talking about brotherly cooperation where we protect and look out. We've seen the Panthers, Deacon for Defense, as I said, mutual aid, black men, when they weren't running, pandering after women, found a way to have common cause amongst themselves. And when men learn to cooperate and work together, women fall in line. We've been trying to work outside of that. Love or hate the Nation of Islam, the women in the Nation of Islam, from what I can see, show a lot of solidarity towards the men. No matter what issues in the Nation of Islam, you won't know about it unless you're in it, because they're not out there broadcasting it. There's somebody out there, I think Q, I was telling you, everyone says I'm always dark in the Nation of Islam, and that's not completely true.
Keep cooking.
I see a whole lot of stuff that some of these groups have where the men can sit down and deal with each other. I like Brother Q. I like Chef C. I like you, Brother Twist. And let me share with you what we're doing as we come together and relate and hear each other out. There are the people listening. We have what I call WASIs, righteous warrior sisters, who are waiting for black men to be what I call war bros, warrior brothers, and for us to come together, support each other in solidarity, because a lot of black women are shell-shocked by all the simp faggonist dudes out here. These women are confused when the men have pocketbooks and nail polish and shit and eyelashes. A lot of the women don't know what the hell. I mean, they're confused too. I mean, these
purses,
these
fanny packs, and man buns and shit.
These women. I mean, the only thing that brothers aren't doing, because a lot of us have pony asses, we're not getting butt lifts. That's coming too. Ooh, I got that out. Anyway. When the women see us as upright, legitimate, decent men. Now, and I'm telling you, I had an experiment. I did this back in 1988 with a sister at Harvard Law School named Carrie Drew. We had a conversation about male-female relations, and I told her, sister, the women are more fucked up than the men, although they're fucked up men. The men are more able, because black men hear criticism all the time. We can handle being, because we're going to get attacked and criticized. It doesn't happen to you. But for every good woman that you can find, I can find 2 men that are decent enough to go out and socialize, eat, and fellowship. So we created a dating club. You know who ruined the dating club? It wasn't the men, because we could get the women destroyed it because they began fighting over the men. The men were able. We told the guys, don't fuck this up for us. We want to meet some nice looking, intelligent women here at school. Nobody grab anybody's ass or boobs. Don't do it. But sit down, talk, communicate, be friendly, get numbers. But let's be upright. The men were able to a man to obey the rules. The people who would not comply with the rules were the black women, because black women are rogue and off code. I'd say 50 to 60%, because we men spoil them, and there are other women and feminine that women don't have to obey rules because they've got the golden gulch. I have a vagina, therefore, ladies' night, I don't pay the cover charge. You know, men have to pay everywhere. Well, you have a pussy, you can come on in, right? We've created a culture where women don't have to be accountable or responsible because we want sexual access. And that spoils and it lowers the character of women. When you meet women abroad, if they have a child out of wedlock, they're seen as a hoe. That's why women overseas are a lot more humble and circumspect in many cultures, because if a woman messes up, it's permanent. She gets pregnant too early, gives it that it's over. The only women that think with 10 kids that they're still a hot pick in their 50s are Black American women. They actually think that they can get a guy that's 25 that's making seven figures to take care of another man's bastards that are older than he is. That's the only place to work. And
Nobody got time for that.
this delusional mindset, we men have facilitated it. The day that we rebel against it and say it's over, which is why, let me tell you something. Women came down on Kevin Samuels like a ton of bricks because they were terrified that you can't kill an idea. Once Kevin Samuels' ideas broke out, it would spoil all the apples in the barrel that other men would start thinking like him. That's why they attacked him. They wanted to stop it. Oh my God, he's broken through.
And listen, brother Short. When I tell people that the honorable Messiah was assassinated,
He was assassinated.
you know,
He
they look at
he
me like I'm
died.
crazy.
Kevin Samuels died for us, and he lives. We're never going to get over it. Studs, pork chop feminists, all of you. We're going to talk about Kevin
Hey, Dr.
Samuels.
Short, do the K. Do the K.
Yes. Oh, hold on. The K is like this. He's got you. You can't. I don't know if you can see me because I see Kevin Samuels' picture. When he takes it down, I'll do it. Hey.
How people do they Holy Mary.
Yeah, well, we do the Holy Kevin. The Kevin is like this, Q. You come down and you do this and you do that. Again. And yes, that's the like in the Catholic Church, you do like this. Well, we do the Kevin cross.
The Holy K. The Holy K.
That's right. And Kevin's name. We're gonna preserve Kevin Samuels' memory. We're gonna talk about it. We don't care. You'll never stamp out the patriarchal movement started by Kevin Samuels. The pork chops will never make his name is going to stay in my mouth. I'm going to say it every single day until we're going to talk about Kevin Samuels as if he never died. You can't kill him. You can't kill his ideas. You can't kill the idea that I'm a man. I used to hear black men ain't shit. And Kevin Samuels came and said, I'm a high value man, that I have worth. We have worth, and that we should sell out to femininity. If I told you about all the masculine broads that have messed over me, and I'm not mad at women, that I've trying to accommodate feminism, if I told you, I could sit here for hours. I wish Kevin Samuels had been around when I was a kid. Not that but you know what? We don't have to be upset about that. We have to make certain that everybody, if Kevin Samuels be lifted up from the earth, we'll draw all patriarchs to us. Help us lift up Kevin Samuels.
Well, hold it right there, gentlemen.
Oh yeah, we'll do it again.
Hold on one second. I want to go to Brother Q. Actually, I want to work the room a little bit here. Brother Short brings up the point that the stamp from Kevin Samuels is high value. Now, in today's age, gentlemen, high value is it's really equivalent to monetary and material possession. In a situation where men, especially right now, we're dealing with high interest right? We're dealing with astronomical fucking rates as far as you know, uh, just bills in general. Crazy, all new levels. Men are doing 50-50. Men are or 60-40, 70-30.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is a very small amount of men out there right now who are doing absolute 100% of the bills. Very small amount. According to our brother Kevin Samuels, the Messiah. All right. Now, if you're not taking care of everything, does that make you less of a? Does that make you an inferior man? Are you no longer high value?
No. No, it
I
don't.
wanna let me go to brother Q, and then we gonna swing to you, Twist. Q, what say you about that, brother Q? What's your thoughts, sir?
I'm gonna just give you some quick thoughts on your question, and also him as a person. What is interesting about Kevin Samuels and what he did on his platform is he made people think about where they are in their life, how you should be valuing yourself. If you make a certain amount of money, you should understand that percentage of your income is going to get you the type of people that's going to attract the people that you desire. Number one. Number two is that I think high value more comes. It's a mindset, how you feel about yourself and what you choose. Because at the end of the day, right? If you think you're a high value guy and you got that much self worth, you're gonna attract those type of people. Like Dr. Short said, and it's interesting when you look at other cultures. If a woman comes and she's got 3-4 kids, other cultures will say, "Are you a widower?" That's the first question. And the reason why they'll say that is because they'll take that responsibility of that man's family if that man passed away, died, whatever.
Amen.
In Black American culture, female may be like, I got 4 or 5 baby fathers. That should be a red flag. And that should not only be a red flag for him, but it should be a red flag for her because she's basically telling him she has no stability.
Oh, no, she has no morality, and that's not a red flag. That's a pirate flag with the crossbones and the skull. That is not a red flag.
I remember Lost in Space. Danger.
Stranger danger. Got that stranger.
And Chef Stick, the thing that's interesting about Kevin Samuels, and a lot of people would see the brother's clips, and his clips would go viral. But if you ever listen to his show, he used statistics.
Mm-hmm. That's
Number
right.
2, anything that he used, he got from the caller. So if a woman said, she makes 6 figures, she's in corporate America, she needs to understand that if she wants the black man who is in her dating bracket, he may make high 6 figures, no kids. She may have a child or whatever, or can't have a family because she don't went to college and climbed up the corporate ladder. Now she's in her 40s and she can't have kids.
No, she has pelvic inflammatory disease like a bunch, and she's sterile. And this man is supposed to get with a woman that can't give him children because she went to college and she earned some money. Your earning potential doesn't mean as much as whether you can be the mother to his children. Get off this income shit.
And see, that is the biggest thing. And when you really, really look at Kevin Samuels, and I always try to tell women this, he came, and I know we do RK and say all this stuff about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was an asset to black women.
That's right.
Black women should understand that Kevin Samuels was their ally.
Yeah, he was like medicine to the mind.
He wasn't telling people to be brotherfuckers. He wasn't telling men, look, man, you're in the prime of your life.
Right.
The world is your oyster.
That's
you can
right.
Sleep with 4 or 5 women. He wasn't saying that.
That's right. That's right.
Even though statistics tell people that could possibly be true for you as a middle-aged black man because you are the prize.
That's right. That's right.
So I think that when you look at him and and we all know from content creating, his biggest attractions are women and his biggest supporters are women.
That's
because
right.
they understood that this man was giving them some real game.
That's right.
But
That's right.
some people gonna get it, some people not.
That's right.
Everybody ain't getting on this ship.
That's right.
Everybody ain't getting on the ark.
That's right.
So,
Tell them. Mm-hmm.
some people
Yes.
just can't
That's
make
right.
it, you ever see?
That's right. That's right.
It's the bottom line.
That's right. Tell them. Mm-hmm.
What? Just look at it like this. What middle-aged black man is on the internet telling, number one, if you understand who Kevin Samuels was, telling other black men how to dress?
That's right.
Majority of black men don't even know how to tie a tie.
That's
Come
right.
on. And he did the fucking class on it that one time.
That's
Yes.
right.
She was on it.
That's right.
Yeah, see?
Yes, he
didn't
did.
miss it. They missed all of that.
But-
They
but
saw
she-
all of the other stuff.
She didn't want a guy, you know, who wore some nice shoes, maybe got a tap on them. She wanted to do it with the Timberlands and the jeans halfway off his ass.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
And the do-rag smelling like weed on the. Now, if you smell like weed, you smoke weed, that's up to you. But you don't have to smell like weed. It's a difference.
Nappy ass dreads, pants hanging down, with the dirty ass hoodie on, and wearing a
Mouth
weed
looking like a
straight.
spade game.
Ain't brushed his teeth in the weed, got crusts in his eyes, got motherfucking shoes on that he done got from his partner, and too busy trying to hit a lick because they don't know how to hustle and grind.
Exactly.
I want to give a shout out to Kevin Samuels for the simple fact. Kevin Samuels is what my dad always said to me. He always said, maintain yourself as a gentleman and a scholar at all times, because you don't know who's watching or you don't know what it is. Because if you act like a nigga, you gonna get treated like a nigga. And when they treat you like a nigga, you can't blame nobody else but you, nigga. So maintain yourself as a gentleman and a scholar at all times, because once you do, you will be recognized as that. And once you're recognized as that, there's nothing else for you to do. So Kevin Samuel was a pure definition of a gentleman and a scholar, and I respect him as that.
That's right.
I don't disagree with him on a lot of things, but I fuck with him on the majority of things. So that's how I deal with it. And Kevin Samuels, Jason Black, Professor Black True, a lot of real black men out here that can stand on their square as black men. I rock with you. And any man who say, well, I don't, you know, if you disagree, I mean, if you agree with a man 100% of the time, you a coattail dragger. You know, you a dick rider, you know? If you, I mean, come on, you're supposed to agree and disagree, but yet we still supposed to have a balance.
That's right.
To where we still could rock on that same plane. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Just like all of us. We may agree and disagree with some things, but yet we're still maintaining a gentleman core to where we can be in the same space. It's like we were at a table with cigars and cognac having a discussion, like these white people do about our future, about our culture, about land and everything.
That's right.
This is what we're doing. So just like you, Dr. Short, on how you're planning that, you know, the black men, you know, the masculine, that thing, we really need to get that thing. We really need to get it going, because every fire starts with a spark, and we need that spark because it's nothing for black men out here for us. When you look, black men are obsolete. Black women are the face of black culture. And I'm not going to sit back and allow that to be, because a black woman don't speak for me. I'm a man. I protect my sisters. I defend my sisters. But yet, in the same time, too, I don't want my sisters in the forefront of me. No, stand back. Let me handle this. And as a strong black masculine man, I am going to stand forward and fight for this, whether it's intellectually, physically, or militarily. You know what I mean? A lot of people out here are lost, and that's why I love this, and we really need to get that going, because it's a lot of people out here too busy trying to sell their selves and not black men. I'm pro-black men for all faults and virtues. The Pookies, the Ray Rays, the little slugs and all that. I'm pro all of us for the simple fact, my dad always told me, never judge a man for the simple fact you don't know what that man go through. We all black men grow through shit. Everybody hate us. We were born by fire and baptized in blood. And we all have our stories. So I don't knock nobody. I respect all that. But yet, I want to build, you know, because we all need each other. Y'all are my brothers. Y'all can relate to me. Y'all can relate to growing up with soul food. Y'all can grow up to y'all mama playing blues music. You can relate to me when I say I grew up all Bobby Blue Bland and B.B. King. Y'all can relate to that because we are all peers. We all Gen Xers and some in here boomers. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I deal with y'all. I don't understand how some people like to
Hey,
tolerate.
I'm a millennial. Understand me? I'm a millennial in here.
But you still got good hair. You still got good hair, so you cool. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what? A Twizzler. You know that song? Further on up the
Hey, Dr.
road.
Short. Yeah, Dr. Short. See, you're an elder. My
No, oh,
dad
not
was a
yet.
singer.
I'll
Check
be an
this out.
elder and
You didn't know
300.
my dad though. My
Huh?
dad was a singer in this group called the Ballads. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They was in the movie The Mac. Their
Okay.
#1 song was "God Bless Our Love."
Oh,
And
yes.
after Seven remade their song, "Baby I'm For Real," that's what my dad was. So I'm initiating to the Oakland Hall of Fame because of that. My dad.
Wow.
So I'm from that era. You know, I'm from the
Okay.
R&B era when R&B was the hustle, like Smokey Robinson and Temptations and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That was my dad and them. His group was called the Ballads. You can Google it on YouTube. You know,
I remember that God bless our love, right?
yes,
But
indeed.
no,
Yes,
I don't.
that's my dad, Rico, the little
Oh,
short one. You know,
okay. I
that's
remember
my
the
dad.
song, but you said Bobby Blue Bland, and
Bobby, yeah, that's what my mama used to play.
I like that song. Further on up the road. Right?
Baby, you gonna reap what you
That's right.
sow.
I love further
Further
make
on
up
up
the
the
road.
road.
That's
Yes,
that's
man.
the cut, man.
Bobby Blue Bland.
Oh my.
It's called a stormy Monday.
Yeah, Stormy
And Tuesdays
Monday.
just as bad. That's
Yeah.
what when I came home from school, I always walked in and my mother sitting at the table with her cigarette in her hand, playing her blues on a record player, a 45 or everything. So
Well, I'll
these little
just tell
motherfuckers
you.
don't know about the record player where you had to run your finger across a needle to get the lint up off of it and stick the needle down
Yeah,
on it.
now let me tell you, I have a little bit of blues, just a little. I lived with Denise LaSalle for a year. And I remember I called Denise LaSalle the day Solomon Burke died to let her know Solomon Burke had passed. And that was wild. So imagine that was interesting. So I have a love for the blues. It's real. And we got to bring all that back. We patriarchs have to set the tone for the culture. We're going to bring this stuff back. We need a cultural revolution in our community. I'm a culture warrior. I do a lot of shows with Chef and with Q here. And a lot of people don't understand what I'm doing. I'm fighting a war. People don't quite get. I don't do certain stories. The easy stories we can do when the police kill someone or this or that. I don't do that. I'm literally attacking pork chop feminists, fagonists, all these. I'm a culture warrior. If you watch the news, white people who are nationalistic, which they have a right to be, they fight for the advancement of white culture, white American culture. That's why they're down at the border with their flags and all of that. We have to create a culture of pride and self respect, self reliance, self defense, as well as mutual aid. And that will change how we're doing. When you say that there's nothing out here for us, it's true, but we can make it. But the culture has to change. We've been in a culture of atomizing, falling apart. It looks like when I say stuff, I'm trying to divide people. I'm not really doing that. I'm trying to I like coffee, but I don't like grinds in my coffee. Pork chops and other people are like the grounds that you throw out. I want the actual coffee, but I don't want the grounds. We want Black Americans, we don't want Black American scum, whether it's boule or whether it's broke ass. I don't like anything that's going to make the quality of what we have bad or negative. If Starbucks had grounds in its coffee, no matter how great the brand was, people would stop drinking it. You only need so many people to get grounds in their coffee at Starbucks for that brand to go down. As a people, we have too many folks ruining our brand, and we have to clean up and standardize and operationalize a movement and an effort to systematize and standardize and clean things up. That's what real men do. You will find that the Boule, the Greeks, and even the nigger churches, and that's their nigger churches, they're not Christian. No Christian church would call for Black babies being killed as civil rights and health care, which is what the AME church did. That's bullshit. That's eugenics and genocide. You get where I'm coming from? You looked at those nigger churches last week that were talking about Gaza, and yet they're not talking about Chicago. They're not talking about what's going on in New York. They're not talking about in DC where black women who've paid into the system that are disabled, they're getting $5 and $6 a month in SNAP, and they're $900 a month going to illegals. That's insane. In my own city, I've never been able to get a district job, but illegals are going to get hired and paid at rates higher than blacks who are educated in this country. You don't hear these nigger churches or any of them or the CBC or none of them. We patriarchs have to be what the black men in the Civil War. In fact, I'll tell everybody, I boast about my great, great, great grandfather born in 1792, Thomas Benjamin Lancaster, enlisting in the Union Army at the age of 70 to fight for freedom, and fought 4 years in his 70s. He hated slavery, wanted to shoot somebody over it. That's the patriarch in my family. Huh? The person in his 70s wanted to throw down and shoot somebody over his people's freedom. You get where I'm coming from? We have to reignite under this banner. The Kevin Samuels Front has created the kind of fervor and interest and energy, and black men coming together as a heterosexual movement for the national salvation of our people. And we're not talking about leaving anybody behind, but we will never let feminism or sodomy or sodomite culture become the spear tip or even the major part of our movement. Yes, they might be in our community, but anybody that doesn't support heteronormative thought and families will always be marginal in the black community forever. And we have to do that. If you notice this, I'm going to tell you something, friends. No other group of people in the country are being imposed on by the pedophiles and the freaks as our community, because there is not a patriarchal movement where they wouldn't dare. There are groups, Latinos, Asians, they're far smaller than us. We are 80 million people. We are the largest or the second largest ethnic group in this country. No, there are groups with 1 million people that they would never make the men wear purses or do this stuff. We're maybe 100 million people, depending on how you define black. For us to allow people to treat us this way is insane. And we can tell them to fuck off, hell no. It's time for black men to start saying hell no. The Deacons for Defense said hell no. Robert Williams down in Henderson, North Carolina said hell no. Nat Turner said hell no. Malcolm X said hell no. Medgar Evers said hell no. Huey Newton in Oakland and Bobby Seale said hell no. No is an answer to white supremacy. No is the answer that we give to feminism. No is the answer that we give to this rainbow skittle bullshit. Hell no. We're not going to be exterminated. We're not going to be castrated. We're not going to be separated from our children. We are not going to be chicks with dicks. We're not going to be your slaves. We're not going to be erased in our land of birth. It's simply not happening. It's in your white supremacist dream. As your empire's collapsing because you can't fight Iran, China, Russia, and the whole Arab and Islamic world, and keep your boot on black people's necks using our trader studs and other people. You've overextended yourself, and if we raise up as a patriotic black patriarch movement, as Kevin Samuels envisioned, that's why he was assassinated by the GCP. The GCP people that make porn, the GCP people that are involved in human trafficking. Kevin Samuels was the greatest threat to white supremacy since Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were assassinated. And that's why they killed them. And I don't give a damn who doesn't like it. The same people that think Kevin Samuels wasn't assassinated are the same people that think Biden won 2020. The same ones that think that these damn mandated medical things that they're pushing prevent disease. And think that everybody's just getting stage 4 cancer naturally and people just dropping dead everywhere. To hell with that. To hell with it. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no, Oprah Winfrey and your color Slurple. Hell no.
Plus size princess.
Hell, no, she's not a
Dr.
plus.
Short.
No, she's a stud. She's a carpet munching enemy. Oprah Winfrey is an enemy. Oprah Winfrey, God exists because if he didn't, I would be dictator of Black America. I'd have Oprah Winfrey under house arrest. I would grab her. She'd just be put, they'd grab her and throw her in the back of a van, take her somewhere. In fact, you know what? We would make Oprah happy because we let her eat all the bad food she likes. She's miserable not being able to be as fat as she wants to be. Be fat. You don't want to be with the man anyway, and you're too old to have children. And probably the child would hate being Black as much as you. So we're glad you're the last one like you. Thank God you have no children. In fact, you know what? We could really punish Oprah. What we do is lock her in a room with Stedman and give him enough Spanish fly for him to find himself.
40 years of fuckery.
Treason, Slurple treason. Got all these women out here thinking that carpet munching is love. And that's why these lesbians have 4 or 5 times the divorce of straight people. All these women getting their ass beat, getting choked out by women and not saying anything. Even the police department suppressed the crime records in the gay community to make heterosexual families look more violent and more dysfunctional. There is no such thing as a gay family. Those are 2 adults of the same sex masquerading that munching a vagina is the same as procreative sex between man and woman. It's bullshit. It's fiction. It's a lie. As a patriarch, we stand against you. We will not cooperate. We don't need you. Your culture's dying. Any culture that goes over to the dark side of pretending that 2 vaginas rubbing on each other is the same as a penis inside a vagina is a dead culture. Any culture that thinks killing babies is the same as raising one to maturity is a dead culture. These people are already dead. Let me just remind everybody, my favorite scene from the Bourne Identity series was when that guy, Jason, was fighting with the dude and they went over the banister. You know what I've talked about, Q. And he landed. He used the other man as a cushion to break his fall, where the other man beneath him died, even though he was trying to kill him. White people, as they fall, want to use us as a cushion to break their death fall. We have to refuse to be their break fall. We must survive, stand up and resist because this is our land. I'm descendant of Black Hawk, the Indian chief that Abraham Lincoln and them were trying to kill. My folks are the Pamunkey and Piscataway and the Powhatan. We were here before these devils showed up. This is my land, not these people coming across the border. Their asses don't belong here. Mayas belong in Central America. Aztecs belong in Central America. That's another damn group of Indians. Same for the Incas, the Yaquis, and everybody else. This is our land. You know that song, this land is your land, this land is my land? Bullshit. This land is my land, period. And it's just for people like us. We have everything to lose by not coming together. And let me just say this to you. Nat Turner changed the history of this country with 3 other Black men. 3 Black men plus 1 changed the history of this country. This country can't even deal with Nat Turner, who's been dead almost 200 years. That's how afraid they are of Black male patriarchy. Once you know what your enemy fears, that's exactly what you need to do. You know what? The feminists won't attack me. The feminists learned attacking Kevin Samuels made him so big. They they got rid of him. If they dare attack any of us, it will bring all the other patriarchs together. That's why we can be bold and crazy. Do you guys realize that the Boule knows about us? That Rollover Martin and them, they're doing everything to contain us because if we break out, they're gone. That's another reason why we should support anything that the Boule hates, I like. If the Boule hates Donald Trump, then I like Donald Trump. I would love to see. Let me tell you
Dr.
something.
Short, I don't want to cut you off. Look what I found today. I was going through my money, and look what I found today. Did you see this? Y'all see that? Look what was on the money today.
Oh, wow. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. I found this on a $20 bill today, so I said I'm gonna keep this. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, Donald
Yeah,
Trump. Yes, I do. I see it. I love it. Donald Trump is a white male patriarch.
he's
We
a man.
we
Man's
don't
man,
have
and
to
they
agree
hate
with
that.
Donald Trump on, but we agree with him on manhood. Donald Trump is a patriarch. I support patriarchy, but I support it for my people first. What are people? I don't know. You muted me. You want me mute? Okay. We have to fight for patriarchy. Patriarchy was what got black men to fight against slavery. It's what got black men to rebel against slavery. It's what got black men to organize towns and businesses. We must bring patriarchy back. The only place for feminism is under our feet. Let me land my plane.
So you don't have to land your plane, keep cooking, man, because we need you. We
Well,
need
I mean,
more mature men like you. And these people here, they scared of you. Like you said, Donald Trump. They're scared of Donald Trump because Donald Trump is a man's man. You know, he's like an old school Al Bundy. He's like, Donald Trump is the Tywin Lannister of our time. And they scared of that. And that's what we need, though, because we need the pure definition of masculine power. You know, that's one thing about a woman. A woman may acquire power, but she would never be feared. You know what I'm saying? She would never be feared, so she might as well just give it up right then and there. That's why Nikki Haley would never be president because
we call her
you know
Nookie Nookie Haley.
I don't even really pay her no attention. She want to be a white woman. That's why she from Nimrata to Nikki. I don't respect her because she's a white woman, and any woman who can't stand on her principles is not proud of her heritage. How could you have the audacity to be an American president? You're not even proud of who you are. You're not even American. It's because you sleep with a white man that don't make you a white woman. You know what I'm saying? But back to what we're talking about.
And she'll never she'll never swallow enough cum to make her a white woman. And I call her
how much sauerkraut, how much bratwurst, or how much potato and cabbage and corned beef she eats. She would never be that. You know
and that's why I call her Nookie Haley. You can't screw your way into whitedom. And I'm going to go further to say this. We're on the cusp of our freedom. We can get it. It doesn't take that many. And so, Brother Twizzler, I want you to email me because I need to introduce you to a couple of people I know that are in Oakland. I know you know Sugar T.
Yeah, come on.
Okay,
man,
I know. So
yeah.
that's you. I know you know her. I love Sugar T, man. That's a great woman.
She joined the Fly Nubian Queen. She joined now.
Okay.
So yeah, Sugar T. She's from Northern California. She's like from the Bay. You know, she's part of that. But I know of her, but I never networked with her.
But the point is that we need to network. And what I do is I'm going to network because we are going to get what is ours. And that's why I use the expression MFM. We need our motherfucking money. Okay? We're going to get our MFM. I'm going to get mine. I don't care who doesn't like it. We're going to get it. It can't stay like this. We weren't meant to be out here with nothing. I didn't come from nothing. None of us came from nothing. So I just want to say we need our MFM. We've got to get MFM, and we're going to. And I'm telling you, if the Wabros, and the Wazies come together, and it don't take that many, And that's what we're going to have. We've got to have this patriarchal summit. We don't need everybody. If we can get a good 30 people together and come up with
We
the
got it
basic
already.
plan,
Yeah,
if
we
we
got damn
even
near a few
get
hundred
behind
already. We
one or
got a few
two or
hundred already,
three
Dr. C.
business people,
I mean,
we
Dr.
can.
Short.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you a question. Have you seen that documentary me and Chef C did when he came out here to California to visit me and I did it? Have you seen that yet?
I have not.
You need to check that out. Chef C, that's what I'm saying, Chef C. You need to release that. You need to unlock it so people can see that because that documentary, Chef C came out here. I took him to West Oakland, where I was born and raised. I took him to the exact place where they killed Huey P. Newton
Mm.
down there in we call it the lower bottoms. It was called the Boondocks back then. But back in that area, West Oakland was the predominantly black area where black people could be. For the simple fact, all other parts of Oakland was considered the proverbial suburbs, so we couldn't be there. And a little history about the Bay Area, when black people came, we came to the West Coast to work on the ports. You know, that's why the port of Oakland is one of the biggest ports on the West Coast. So we couldn't live in San Francisco or Oakland. We established our own city called Russell City. You know what I'm saying? And Russell City is right now today where Tesla is built. You know what I mean? We call it Union City. But Russell City got so big and prominent to where it became part of the Chitlin Circuit. And you know, once we start stuff with the Chitlin Circuit and the other things, we become prominent, and then they hate on that. And what they did, they do all the black cities, they burnt the South. So that's why black people came up to Oakland, and that's why we made Oakland what it is right now to this day.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
the next time we can't be burnt down anymore, which is why
No, you can't.
it's time for us to organize and arm ourselves. And it's just, we can't do this anymore. I'm not interested in another generation of us getting run around and pushed around. I don't want to hurt nobody. Ain't trying to say hurt anyone, but we must stop being bullied. Being pushed around is a choice. I will tell everyone that black people in 1919 got tired of being pushed around and they fought back all over this country. And that was the first time, really, where black folks did a lot of armed mass resistance against being terrorized. Uh, Real men fight. If you saw
Real
my
men
sermon
fight.
today, my sermon on the Angry Black Men's Book Club channel and my Salt channel was called Loose Dicks Sink Ships.
I thought it was loose lips, right? I thought
No, I'm talking
I
about
thought it was
us.
loose lips that see
Loose,
shit, man.
loose
I
dip,
thought it was these niggas that be kissing and telling. You know what I'm
loose,
saying?
loose dicks sink ships. And I want to say that real men fight. Real men have causes. Real men hold up space, occupy, and dominate and have dominion. We've been tricked by this weak sellout boomer, a simulationist, fake integrationist thing of going along and getting along. I don't have to get along or go along with everyone. I'm not meant to be around everybody else. The Bible tells me, be ye separate, have your own space, have your own thing. Be ye not conformed to this way, but be this world, but transformed. We should have a transformation of mind that we have our own space. That's what our black communities were about, and we've gotten away from who and what we are. We're in a culture of prodigality, we've integrated with people who hate us, and they've never integrated with us, especially not economically. That's why we're ass out. We must integrate with ourselves and distance ourselves from everybody that hates us. And even those that like us, we will only have situational cooperation as on an on as need basis. It is time for us to practice group, ethnic, economics, as well as economic warfare. If you're not trying to fight nobody, you don't have nothing. And anything worth having's worth fighting for. Okay, and that's why a lot of simps like community pussy and body counts. Because, it's not really a struggle or hustle to be with someone that everybody's been with. Street booty, everybody had. It's like eating out in the street. You don't know what the hell you're eating when you get hot dogs and shit from these Arabs and other people. That's why the shit's cheap. Anyway, let me get off here, y'all. I need to take a nap. But I just want to encourage people
We appreciate you, Dr.
to
Short, man.
fight
I
back,
appreciate you.
stand up, and we're going to talk more about. We want folks. We need all of you men and some of you women, if you want, but primarily men, to share.
We need the real men.
Yeah, we want some real men to
not
share
everyday men.
their divorce horror stories, because I'm sick and tired. I got to say this, Oprah Winfrey, you bitch. I'm not. We
Say it
ruin.
loud.
We ruin
Keep
your
talking, you're
film.
proud.
We're gonna ruin everything that you do. You're finished, Oprah. Okay, what you tried to do to Tupac and what you tried to do to Michael Jackson. We black men are coming for you, and all these sellout pork chop feminists can't protect Oprah Winfrey or you other traitor pork chops from the rage of black patriarchs. We're not taking you hoes anymore. You're an enemy to all of us. I want to say this to you. If we put our heads together, we can too transform our people, our situation. It's within our hands. We just have to want it badly enough. And I'm going to tell you something. I have never failed to meet quality, intelligent, righteous black women. When they see black men standing up, doing what they're supposed to do, they instinctively get with you. Last night when we had our YC speak, I didn't want to talk as much. The women just wanted to be around other black men that were solid. They enjoyed themselves. Okay. Black men have to be taught again that sometimes just sitting around righteous black women is empowering. Do people understand in our culture, we used to do the thing called the ring shout, where black folks would just get in a circle and be together and sing, and that was a source of power. It wasn't about screwing or grinding or humping, just to be together in a spirit of unity that we're here. If we show solidarity, mutual respect, and cooperation, the money will follow us. Instead of us running after money, having to suck on the dick of a hairy-bellied GCP to get your record cut, we can do these things for ourselves. We don't need anybody but God and each other. And if we weed out traitors and turncoats, and we find the real ones of us, there's nothing that can stop us. This is why so much dope and alcohol and everything is poured on us, is to make certain that, remember the slave code? They didn't want even two black men talking together is a cause for consternation. If we can get 3-4 people in different communities to become patriarchal cells of liberation, we can do anything. Let us remember the student rebellions started in places like North Carolina. Was a discussion group of 4 men that wanted better. Not 100, 4. We don't have to have everybody. We don't need everybody. We just need a few. We only need a few people that want it and a few people that cooperate. Chef C has a farm. I know folks that are farmers. We could do all, it's unlimited if a few of us decide. Brother, you like smokables. Brother, you want to be a distributor? I know hemp farmers. My friend, you become the West Coast distributor. My friend owns 1,000 acres. 1,000 acres. I mean, I'm not saying you can't smoke it all, but a little. I mean, I don't. But look, but no.
Short, that's why you need to talk to Chef C about me. That's why you need to watch that video.
Putting
that documentary that we did. You know,
check
it out.
Well, he has to show me. Chef C did.
Hold on, gentlemen. Twizzle, stop saying that. Because you know what hold on. You know what I said? This is scrolling in the bottom right here. They can go ahead and purchase that. I gave it away for a whole year for free.
And you gotta understand, a lot of people didn't know.
Well, they know now. You
kind of put it in the box.
Quiz,
you know what I mean?
Same people that want to know.
You can give it to Chef. You can give it to Dr. Short though. You can give it to Dr. Short.
Hold on. Me and Dr. Short, we already. Did you hold on? Do you even know that Dr. Short is in the very thing that you're in? Do you know that?
That same move, the one I did, the Bay Area chapter.
No.
Come on, don't be a wise guy. You know he's not in the Bay Area. You know
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But come on now, show him art so he can have a better idea of identity with Termity.
Don't do this all live.
Yeah,
Don't do this all live.
Me.
You understand? We're not gonna do this all live.
I love you, my brother.
As Brother Dr. Shaw was saying, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at doing the Patriarch Summit. I would definitely encourage everyone to go to his platform. My brother Q is in here. I'm sure he'll be willing to put it up there as well. I'm going to put the poll up. We just want to see authentic interest in a Patriarch Summit in the near future. Okay? And should that be a good turnout, here you go, my brother Short. See, they've been kicking him out. They kicked you out a couple times.
They was messing with his mic. Yeah, they was messing with his microphone the whole time.
They kicked you out a couple times. They kicked him out a couple times. It's you know, this is Kevin Samuels stuff. So, you know, I'm surprised they even allow us to be on this long.
But they can't stamp this out. You know, there's certain things that can't be destroyed. You know, in South Africa, since we were talking about smoke, in South Africa, you can't get rid of cannabis. They have such a pernicious strain of cannabis. No matter what you do, cannabis will grow practically anywhere in South Africa. You can't get rid of it. And that's the same thing for the spirit that wants to be free, that wants patriarchy in our community. They can't stamp it out. They can't uproot it. They've done all of this, and all they've done is caused it. We're like a spring. We've been pressed down for 60 years. Now, because as Kevin Samuels has said, we divide history into two periods. BK before Kevin and AK after Kevin. And this is year 2 after Kevin. And you can't do nothing with us. We are not going to go back. We will not get back on the pork chop feminist slave ship. We're not going to pick your rancid pussy cotton balls anymore. We're not doing it. We're in rebellion. You have to pick your own shit now. You pull the lint out your scrotum. You know, nasty things. We're not going to do it. We will be free. We will have order in our home. Folk will learn how to make meals from scratch. Folks will screw on command like they used to. People are going to be stay-at-home moms. We will have male, female heads of house. We will not change the definition of marriage. We will not change the definition of male and female. We will not be slaves. We will not be poor. We will not be inferior. We will not be divided. We will not be feminized. Our women will not be defeminized. We will be free. We will get our motherfucking money. We are not going to accept it. So tell the system, tell the boule traders, tell our subversive thugs that the black patriarchs are saying, hell no. Oprah, we taking your song and we're going to give it real meaning. It's not going to be a bunch of studs of the fat singing hell no. It's going to be a bunch of black patriarchs saying, hell no. Hell no, Oprah. Oprah Winfrey, you're finished. The era of Oprah Winfrey is over. We are satisfied that in Black History Month, they're going to have to remove that shit from the movie theaters. If they can't keep it in there making $35,000 a day, that shit is on DVD. And I recommend, If you're going to buy the color purple, buy it from some person selling pirated copies. Oprah Winfrey doesn't deserve a penny. It's time for us to stop looking for other people to love us and love ourselves. We need brotherhood. We need sisterhood. We need peoplehood. We need patriarchy. We need freedom. We need land. We need our motherfucking money. It's really just that simple, and it's doable. None of the things that we're talking about are impossible. Nothing that we want is unreasonable. And trust me, once we start doing this, it's a train that can't be stopped. And we must develop systems of punishment, coercion, and investigation, because they're surely going to come and try to infiltrate us, and it's never, ever going to happen. We're saying hell no. And we don't want you traitors. We're going to weed you out. We don't want you. Roland Martin, you guys' days are numbered. All of you that gave allegiance to some kind of devil spirit, if you're into something secret and nasty and you had to lick somebody's butthole somewhere, you can't be our leaders. We don't want to be united with you. Same way, if you want to be a bed wench, or if you want to be a boule trader, you're out. Maybe your grandchildren can be part of what we put together, but you're an outcast. We're going to create a caste system. Anybody that's betrayed us are untouchables until we say it's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I think we're gonna get ready to wrap it down.
Yes, we do.
I want to go ahead and go to my brother Q. I want to thank brother Q for tapping in with us real quick. Brother Q, let them know about Let's Talk To, how they can get a hold of your platform, etc. You got the
platform is Let's Talk To. Best way to get in touch with me is the ltalk5600@gmail.com. We always doing shows with Dr. Short, yourself, Chef C. Hopefully the brother Twizzle will come through.
You got me now, man. It's all good.
We're just trying to be people that aren't just talking, and just people that are putting action, boots on the ground, really, really bringing this back to where it needs to go back to, and understanding that the only way that we're going to move forward as a people is going back to those family values and establishing strong families so we can have a strong community. Great discussion. And all I can say in my closing words to the women, be more than just giving a dude a wet ass.
Yeah. And feminism is evil. Feminism is a betrayal. Feminism, the only good feminist is an ex-feminist.
That's a fact.
They ain't even good. They ain't even good because they still gonna harbor them feelings.
That's right.
Hey, Wiz, you know, people always want to know what it is with you, man. Let them, first and foremost, let them know about the business, man. They got to know about the business and how to get a hold of you, man.
You see this right here. You understand me? This is your player partner, Mac Twizzle, official as a referee's whistle, man. This is how I get down. I ain't James Brown, so I don't gotta get up, jump down, spin up, and come back around talking about, hey, this is how I get down. I'm up in here, man, because I am 100% with Dr. Short on the patriarch movement that we have, and I am so looking forward to having our convention because this is what we need. I am really irritated and aggro over the fact of Black America right now. When you look at Black culture, our women are the face of us, and we don't have no men that's standing for us. So as they say, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And we've been Dr. Randy Short, Q, Chef C, and I, and we are the spark that starts the fire of patriarchism, to get real men to stand up and be what men need to be, what men are and what they're destined to be. Hey, I'm honored and proud to be a part of that, because it's a lot of hand-picked, like I say, skirt drawn, skirt drawn, soft ass motherfuckers out here to really think that they can't survive without. And that's the whole thing about being a man. You are born by yourself and you're gonna die by yourself. So you need to learn how to live with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
Hey, hey, Chef
y'all got
Steve.
me.
Yes, sir.
Apologize, you guys. I thought I was done, but one quick thing I just put in the chat. I just created a survey for our patriarchal summit. So
Okay.
if you go in that chat, that link right there, it's just 4 questions, 4 real quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
You click on the link and it's a survey. Dr. Short, as well as the team.
Hey, quick question, Q. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to follow you on Twitter as well. You know what I'm saying? So we could really network. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get it popping.
I say let's get it popping. And the one thing I have to say,
Hold on, brother Short. Q, what are those 4 questions that are on that survey?
The 4 questions on the survey.
Yes, sir. That you got for everybody.
Let me write this shit down.
Yeah, and if y'all like, definitely just go ahead and hit that. Go visit www.surveymonkey.com. We're trying to get an understanding, engage the true interest for those who want to participate.
What is it, brother Q?
It's Let's Talk.
All right, for those who want to participate in the Patriarch Summit, that is where you go ahead and find it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You got those questions for us, yeah, brother Q?
I don't forgot the daggone questions. Hold on.
All right, it's all good. Y'all go ahead and visit that www.surveymonkey.com. So it'll help us gauge true interest in the summit.
I think that's a racist website that it's got monkey. I don't know if I trust.
I knew he was going
That's
to let
prejudice.
it
go. We white right now, so I gotta make these type of references. But appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys for inviting me to the show, and hopefully, at least twice a week, we'll have a brother show like this so we can come together.
No, this is the beginning. It's called Saturday Sit Downs. We finna do this every Saturday. Y'all got me. I got $50 every Saturday for this show. So Saturday Sit Down.
What you call it? Saturday Sit Down?
Saturday Sit Down, man. We doing what men's supposed to do. You notice when the mob, whenever they had to sit down, there's never no screaming, yelling, or bitching, or none of that.
And you guys in the chat, copy that survey, and if you take it yourself, also share it with other like-minded brothers. We may have a couple Wazzy sisters there, but we're really just trying to do it with a all men's thing.
And we have a rule: no feminists are welcome.
Yeah.
And we're gonna put it up in German.
Feminists gonna want to come around.
No, it's gonna say 9 feminists. We're gonna put it up like Nazis. No feminists.
Lions and tigers and bears in here, they ain't gonna want to come in here.
And we'll say it like the Germans would. We'd say feminists, nicht erwünscht here. No feminists wanted here. We don't want. Right, we don't want no feminists. No feminists are welcome. Out. Feminist Roush. Feminist Roush. We want no feminists. None are welcome. Please, you are not wanted. No, and we're gonna have signs up in German. It'll say, feminists Nick Avunch here. No feminists wanted here. We have to start doing that. It's got to go. We want it all out. We want it out of our community.
I want to thank everybody for joining me here today. Brother Dr. Short is our host, Angry Black Man's Book Club Pack Talk number 10. This was the special edition. Of course, you all know that we always do the Thursday broadcast, but we were kind of moved to do this one today. So shout out to Brother Dr. Short. Definitely follow every platform, ladies and gentlemen.
Pork chop down, Fannie Willis. That hole is down like the Titanic. Oh my God. The only thing that doesn't go down faster or goes down faster than Fannie Willis is Kamala Harris in a government office.
I don't know. I think Nimrata got a beat, and she does it 2
Oh,
times.
yeah. Well, Nookie. You mean Nookie Haley?
So, ladies and gentlemen, definitely go ahead and visit those sites. Definitely make sure you subscribe, like, and share to all of the platforms. We want to thank everybody in the chat that came through the swing with us. And also, definitely don't hesitate to sponsor each of our platforms. You see our cash apps there. Everything
Treat
counts.
us
We
like we're
appreciate you.
white.
Treat us white. We do a little research here, but thank you for tapping in with us on this Saturday. And you know what, brother Dr. Short, take us on out. You got the last word, show, sir.
Well, I want you guys to know that the pussy shortage is a myth. Feminism is a lie. White supremacy is a lie. And patriarchy is the divine order. There will be nothing else. We need each other. We need God, and that's it. United, nothing can beat us. Everything proves that, which is why so much is done to make us not see eye to eye. We must develop brotherly bonds of respect and affinity for each other that are not carnal. A brother's scrotum and everything else shouldn't be something that brings us together. We should also have a love for our sisters that's not transactional. We must develop a compassion and respect for one another and the desire to protect this community from domestic and foreign enemies that would have us divided and erased. Genocide is a choice. Ethnocide is a choice. If we choose against it, then we must start today and wherever we are to find other resistant people and unify and caucus. Patriarch the corner where you are. Reject feminists, reject fagonists, reject the boule, reject anything that isn't for full freedom, reparations, normal families, yes, heteronormative or not, or death, patriarchy or death, freedom or death, reparations or death. We have to stake our lives and our energy on real tangibles that we can establish now that can be passed intergenerationally for those to come. Our failure to do this today could result in the elimination of generations yet born. This is Dr. Randy Short from the Angry Black Men's Book Club signing off. Peace and love, everybody.
Definitely, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, in a system of white degeneracy, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. I'm out.